NFL.
Oh.
So she did not make the trip to Austin to coach the Lady Vols in the game last night against Texas. The Lady Vols came up just short in their upset bid. They were 14.5-point underdogs going in. They fell 80-76. Tennessee's lost 2 in a row. They host number 2 South Carolina Monday. Will Kim Caldwell be on the sideline on Monday?
So in our chat, we had a little Vegas fun with it. Over under 2.5 is what you set it at. How many games does Kim Caldwell miss after having a child?
Is that aggressive, 2.5? Or do you think that's fair?
I think it's fair, but I'm going under. She crazy.
I would go under also. So that's why I ask if that's a fair number. Should it be 1.5?
Maybe. Do you count the one she just missed, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then 2.5's fair. 2.5's fair. I'm still going under.
Is it because like all coaches are kind of psycho that way? Or is it because you just see something in her that reminds you of Pat Summitt a little bit?
Yes.
Both of those things?
I do think the pressure in that job to win and continue to win and all of that, like, yes, I think all coaches have to have a different special mindset to do that job. But the way her press conferences go, the way she talks, I mean, she's kind of a hard ass.
I'm hesitant to say it, and Slay, whenever I start, Slay always looks at me like, don't say it. But she kind of does remind me of Pat a little bit. I mean, coming out of 30-point wins, and she's talking about what they didn't do well, and she's not happy. And
right. Exactly.
Things like that.
Yeah, she's so intense that I feel like under is a very safe bet. And that ain't easy. Like having a kid and getting right back to it. Especially from your first.
Yeah, and from a mom perspective.
Yeah. The mom guilt will certainly be there.
And you mentioned
Always
that,
is.
but like no matter what the situation, mom guilt's there. No matter what.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't matter what kind of job you work. Mom guilt is there.
Hey, Slay Dog.
Ron Slay's here.
In the building. So I found a story about Pat Summitt having her baby back in the day, Tyler. She was going to visit.
Tyler tweeted about it, too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
She was going to visit Michelle Marciniak, Spinderella. And she had already blown off one official visit because of weather. Like, she couldn't get to her. She didn't blow it off, but she couldn't get to her. So she was not going to miss this one. So it was her and Mickey DeMoss. And this is Mickey DeMoss telling the story in the Tampa Bay Times. There's no way she could have had a boring pregnancy, not Pat. Hell yes, I was worried on that trip. She was ready to have a baby, and here we were on an airplane going to Pennsylvania. When we landed, Pat said, "Oh, I think my water broke." DeMoss said, "My God, what does that mean, Pat? I've never had kids, never been around somebody having a kid." Pat goes, "Well, DeMoss, it means I'm getting set to have this baby." And they were going to Pennsylvania. So DeMoss says, "I tried talking to her. Let's get to a hospital." Pat says, "No, we'd already canceled the home visit one time, bad weather. She wasn't canceling again." That was Pat, stubborn. I told her the family might understand with her having a baby at the moment and all. Pat said, "Well, I think I can go." She calls her doctor, probably didn't tell him the entire story. Pat gets off the phone, says, "Yep, we can go." I'm telling you, her body looked like that baby was going to pop out any second. I'm driving the rental car to the house. Pat was okay, only hurting a little bit. But at the house, it got worse and worse. Pat kept getting up and going into the kitchen, phoning her doctor. She was really not involved in the recruiting, and I couldn't concentrate. Michelle and her father, they didn't know what was going on, but Michelle's mom, Betsy, she sure knew. Pat told Betsy not to tell Michelle and her dad, didn't want them distracted. Can you imagine, DeMoss said.
Oh, my gosh.
Finally, Betsy said, "Pat, we can't do this anymore. You got to get out of here." By then, I'd totally lost all mental capabilities. I forgot how to get back to the airport, so Michelle and her brother said, "Follow them." I'm just going nuts because there's all kinds of construction on the road. God, I'm screaming. Pat's got both her feet on the dashboard. She's going in and out of contractions. was like, damn it, Pat, we should have called an ambulance. We should have called the police. I'm beating the steering wheel and honking the horn. Pat turns and says, DeMoss, you need to calm down. You're not having this baby. I am.
Oh, my gosh.
We get to the airport, DeMoss says. The pilots are already on the plane. I sit down next to Pat. Here, I got you something, she tells me. It's a shot of Jack Daniels. I swigged the shot. Okay, what do you need me to do now? Pat says, get those baby pamphlets out and start reading them. Jesus, I'm reading about labor and what you're supposed to do if the baby's coming. Pat's baby. Is this really happening? You're asking me, why didn't she just stay in Pennsylvania? Are you out of your mind? It's Pat Summitt. No way that woman's going to have her child anywhere but Knoxville, Tennessee.
Makes a lot of sense from Coach Pat Head.
It's a 2-hour flight back. Pat's getting more contractions. The pilots keep coming back, checking on us. Over Virginia, one of them tells me, we're ready to land in Roanoke. We got an ambulance waiting. The hospital is alerted. All we have to do is set the plane down. Please reason with her. Pat hears him say this. I go back. Pat looks at me. Don't even try it, DeMoss. If you let them land this plane anywhere but Knoxville, Tennessee, you'll have a mad woman on your hands. I know when it's time to shut up and do what Pat wants, DeMoss said. I went back to the cockpit. I said, y'all better get this plane to Knoxville as fast as you can. She's going to have the baby on the plane or in Tennessee. I'm sure as hell not going to be it's sure as hell not going to be in Virginia. I was just praying.
Oh, my gosh.
I was just praying, God, just get us home. There was a toilet in the back, seat down. Pat was leaned over it on her knees. I kept massaging her back. We're getting close to Knoxville. Pat, we're over the mountains. Pat, we're over Jellicoe. Pat, I could tell where we were. It was a beautiful day. We're 10 minutes away. Pat, we're 5 minutes away. We finally land. Could have kissed the ground. Then Pat asked, you going with me in the ambulance, right? To DeMoss. I said, I don't know. There's going to be paramedics, doctors, nurses. Pat says, but you're the only one who knows what to do.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's how
Because you read the pamphlets.
And that's how Pat's baby was born back home in Knoxville, Tennessee. Michelle ended up playing for us, too. Pat never knew how to be anyone but Pat. That's what made Pat so endearing. That was her baby story.
That is unbelievable. This is in September because Slay was like, how many games did Pat miss? I'm like, nope, because Tyler was not born in season. But that is unbelievable. So Tyler tweeted, congrats to @Coach Kim and Justin on the birth of your son, Connor. Glad y'all stayed home compared to my mom nearly having me on a plane. Laugh out loud. If you haven't heard this story, I look forward to sharing it with you. Go Big Orange.
See, I tell you what. She was gonna have that baby in Tennessee.
That is unbelievable. But yes, there are traces of how Pat was in Kim. So yeah, I think it's a safe bet to go under there.
Oh, I thought
under
he was agreeing, but he answered the phone. Yes,
under 2.5. Wow, crazy.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch as soon as Zeph gets everything handled.
Twitch, please.
He just shook his head no. Look at Zeph. He looks panicked. How are you going to deal with Super Bowl, man? You got to be able to, hey, breathe deep. I'm serious. It slows your heart rate down. It's science.
He's got it. He's got it covered.
You think so?
Yeah, we're back. We're back on the stream just in time to hear Slay's newest reality story.
Yeah, we're going to get to that here in a second because we haven't heard it either.
There should be cameras following you.
David on YouTube says, you're one to talk. This is one of the best stories I've ever heard. Dustin said I met her at the Kentucky-Tennessee game that year. She's awesome. Somebody asking if Crack Lady has been arrested.
Hey, man, listen. That's a hell of a story, man.
There's a lot of people that have no idea what we're talking about. So
Slay's got a hell of a story for you when we come back. Stay tuned. Slay's hell of a story next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Twitch, please. What's happening? It's Kellum, StemCellInstitute.com. Get over there and holler at Dr. Kellum, man, one-on-one and get you some sound advice of how to get inflammation away and out of your body. It's your body, your cells, your solution. That right there, those are the key things. You need to have those, and you got them because you got a body, and there's cells inside it. And those equal a solution. They harvest your body's stem cells and also store them for future and continued use. Dive right in, and your body's own healing cells, that's what they do. Start healing. Why wouldn't they? They wake up your cells and tell you, like, hey, man, let's get this inflammation out of the body. That's the small part of it. Congestive heart failure, lung issues, autism, and arthritis, it all works. 615-850-4415. 615-850-4415. That's the number. You got to hit them up, and you will get directly with Dr. Kellum because I did it. I did it with my knee, my hip, my shoulder. And guess what? You can always go back to get a little hit of the secret sauce and get, boom, right back and feeling great if it starts to act back up. But you got to hit them up at 615-850-4415. Give them a call. Kellum, StemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. It is Friday, y'all.
Get Friday. And trash talk.
You might need to.
Man, who you telling? Maybe I'll get some rest.
So, Slay's got a story for y'all.
Yes, I do.
And we haven't heard it.
No.
We know some bullet points.
Right.
And thankfully, when Slay sent the text to us early this morning, he included, and all y'all need to do this when you're telling a story like this. Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Start with that.
That was, yeah.
Everybody's okay. So what had happened was,
man, it was my partner's birthday.
mm-hmm.
We go out, go to Halls. Shout out to Halls. Shout out to Mike. I forgot Mike's last name over at Paul's at Green Hills. It's crazy. We were just talking about him on the air yesterday.
Yeah.
And when I walk in to go to our section, Mike and his family is sitting right there. So we sit, chop it up for a minute. It's like, I got the your little scuba boots so you can do the cold tub. You know what I mean? Your toes don't get cold. I'm like, man, I'm going to be there. Met his wife and
Because your
everything.
feet were too big for the normal ones?
Yeah, man, and them toes get cold. I can't do it. Do it. So he got me together, but shout out to him. I really need to come over there to the Paws now. But so
you need to de-stress.
man, all of it. You know what I mean? Cold tub, float tank, everything. But I go to my section. We eat, about 12, 13 of us, have a good time eating at Halls, leave there. Chris is parked at Target because she had to go to Target and get something, and I met her, picked her up, went on about her business to eat. So I'm coming back, and I drop her at Target. This is Target right there on Old Hickory when you're going 65 South.
Yep.
Jump off right there, take her to Target, get her car, and I'm like, man, Lil Ron always gets Gatorade to take with him in his water bottle for lunch because he'll make his lunch. I'm like, ain't no Gatorades at the house, so I'm going to stop now and get some Gatorade so I ain't got to get up in the morning, try to beat the bus, you know what I mean, and make it back to the house and do all this. So, boom.
You're planning ahead. Look at you're so responsible.
I'm trying to be a good daddy out here, man, and watch this foolishness that happens. So I get up there, we coming down Old Hickory, and you know it's a Shell gas station on the left that's facing the interstate that's going 65 South.
Yep.
But I'm coming up Old Hickory away from Nolensville.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is Franklin Road and Old Hickory.
Yeah,
Yep.
There are shells on alternate sides of that intersection.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
So,
a small one and a big one.
This is Brentwood.
This is Brentwood, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but technically in Nashville.
Right.
Because it's right down the line. There you go.
Yep.
So I'm right there at the light, and I'm about to bust a U-turn to get to the Shell gas station that I can jump right back on the interstate. The light's red, and they got a sign up there that says, no U-turn. So I say, you know
Trying
what?
to be the responsible
Here we
one.
go.
I'm not going to break the law at 11 o'clock at night.
I ain't going to do that, man.
You know the Brentwood police are just sitting waiting for someone
and I don't want to be the one.
Yeah,
Right.
give me that U-turn.
Yeah,
At 11 o'clock at night.
Like, please do it. Please do it.
Yeah.
So the light's green going straight. So I turn right on the Franklin Road to shoot to the gas station that's right there on Franklin Road in Old Hickory.
Yeah,
It's got two exits
from
there.
Wendy's.
There's plenty of parking.
Plenty of
It's
parking.
easy to get in and out.
Well lit, about 8 pumps, gas pumps, you know
I
what I
go
mean?
there
little
all
car
the time
wash.
on the way home.
And it's on a little incline.
Now, the
Yeah.
bathroom there's a little dicey, but that's
But it's outside.
Yeah, that's why it's a little dicey.
Exactly. So what I do is
I have never gone to the bathroom.
I haven't either.
Why do you stop at the gas station to go to the bathroom when you're like close to
bounce.
home?
When you
sometimes you gotta go, don't you?
why do you fall into an icy pool? Sometimes you got to go.
Touche.
It's a great question. Sometimes you gotta bring up the ice.
Why you got to bring up old Chiano?
So, dog, I get right there. I pull into the gas station, and it's on a small incline where the gas tank sits. I mean, the gas station sits.
The parking spots.
The parking spots. So I pull all the way up past the gas pumps. I'm right there at the door. Like 2 more inches, I can drive into the gas station.
Yeah, don't do
you know
that.
What I mean? Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So I park right there. Chris pulls beside me on the left side of me by the driver's side.
Oh, so she's there.
She's
too.
right there, yeah. Chris and like my sister Kariva, she's right there with her in the passenger side with Chris. So I jump out the truck, and it's cold, so I'm gonna leave my truck running. You know what I mean? I got my keys with me. I got my keys
you
with
have
me.
your keys.
Got my keys with me. Got my wallet. I leave my phone sitting right there in the cup holder because it sounded good. Teddy Swim's album just came out. and I'm banging that. So yeah, Teddy banging. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good night right here. I'm on track number 2, brand new album. It's ready.
So your phone is in the car.
It's in the car. So I jump out the car, tell Chris and them, y'all want anything? Kareem was like, yeah, give me some Claritin or some Zyrtec. I'm like, all right, I got you. Jump in the truck real quick and watch the truck. She jumped in the truck in the passenger side, close the door, sit there. While I go in there, I grab the Claritin, walk towards the back to get the drinks, 3 Gatorades and the water, grab them, and I hear the door open. So when the door opens, this woman magically appears out of nowhere.
In the Shell station.
In the Shell station. Talking to the clerk. She about 5'4", little chunky, little junkie. So,
chunky little junkie.
Yeah, chunky junkie, yeah. Got a little black eye. So I'm walking up there, and I'm hearing them talking. She's explaining her and her boyfriend just got into something like that, some little story. And she got some little weird little items. Got like a water bottle, a sock, and some like, it's like some weird stuff out of like a little movie or something. It's like, what are you doing, little lady, with a sock and a water bottle? What
like
you about
not
to do?
all there.
Yeah, like what you about to do? A hand puppet and then drink with the hand puppet? I didn't know what she was going to do. So she went through her whole little thing. And when she finally walked off, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me sit my stuff right here, set it right there on the register. Because she grabbing the stuff, you know what I mean, kind of wild like, and hurrying up and getting out of there. So he scanned my items. Boop, 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 boop. Real quick. He know what he doing. Boop, 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 boop. I'm like, all right, cool. Boom, bam, bip. I pull out my card.
Boom,
I'm about to scan,
Scan your card.
tap and pay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to tap and pay.
Yeah.
Soon as I'm about to tap, I look out the peripheral, the corner of my eye, and I see my door opening. Now, mind you, while I was walking up to the register, my homegirl, Kariva, she jumps out because she see me about to pay. She gets back in the car with Chris.
Oh.
So she took your car through, washed it.
No.
Oh,
it's sitting right there parked the whole time. I said, watch the car. Watch
I
the
thought
car.
you said wash.
No, it's
I'm
too late.
like,
I ain't worried about that.
I mean,
you
gotta
wash it.
It is a good car wash right there.
Yeah,
So.
at 25 degrees.
I'm like, so I'm like, watch it. So she was sitting in the passenger seat watching the car.
Oh.
When I'm coming back, she see me about to pay, and when I'm about to tap, she gets out. The lady, the reason she was scurrying out probably is because she saw her get out and get back in the car with Chris, close the door. She come out. I see her.
So she's like right by you.
Man, the
out
register
door.
to the door is probably
It's
4
super
or 5
close.
steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Normal steps, not no big long steps or anything. And then my car, as soon as you open the door, it's 2 steps till you can touch the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I see the door swing open. I look at the dude like, hey man, the lady getting in my car. Kariva opened up the passenger side door of Chris' car to try to grab the door. The lady hop in. All this happened simultaneously, like
So
clockwork.
fast.
It's amazing. Like this is, when I'm watching it go down, it's amazing.
Like she's done it before.
Yeah, but
And this is 11 o'clock at night.
man, the
This
lady
is
about
not
5'4".
like 3 in the morning.
Man, I'm telling you, real life crackhead, mouth rocker. Like, I'm talking about like she been chewing gravel all day long. You hear me? Man, the tweakers is in full effect out there. I'm telling you, I never thought so, but they really right there. Man, so she jump in. When she closed the door, as soon as she did it, boom, she dropped that thing in reverse. Man, I'm sitting right there. So I'm going
Like
towards
you can't
the door.
even believe what you're watching.
No, but I'm walking towards the door now. So when I see, when the gear shift, the truck kind of jumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dog, this how hard she hit the pedal to the floor. The back end, the ass end of the truck lifts up like a drag race, like whoom, going backwards.
Dude, and here's the other thing about those parking spots. If you go straight back, you're going to hit a gas pump.
You're hitting a pump. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Dude, I'm telling you. She hit it and go, straight. Whoom, and you remember you're on an incline.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to Franklin Road, it's a dip. Man, she hit the dip. Boom!
She reversed it all the way on the Franklin
All the way
Road.
to the street. No cars coming or anything. I don't know
That
how.
is a huge hill.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't see no cars coming or anything. I'm like, dog, she should have just got her back end knocked off.
Yeah.
That don't happen. So she
That's
hit
crazy
the brake.
because that's a busy intersection no matter what time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Anytime. And people flying because when you coming from Nashville up Franklin Road, that speed limit like 55, 60. You know what I'm saying? So you flying before you get to Brentwood.
It's not 60, but
well, it's close. But
listen, a lot of people go
flying,
60, and a lot of people get tickets right there.
They so do. So, dude, she coming up out of there, boom. And as soon as it hit boom, it was like, I guess it triggered for her to hit it in drive. She dropped that bad boy in drive. Now, while this is happening, I'm outside now. I'm at Chris' car. She dropping hers in reverse. I'm like, oh, wait. So I grabbed the back door.
Chris was going to go after her.
Oh, hold on. I open up the door and I'm like, what am I about to do? Like, get in the back seat and chase? That don't make sense. Boom, I close the door. Chris take off. Boom, she come around. The gate lady drop it in drive. She get up there to the Franklin Road, Old Hickory. You know how busy that intersection is, and the lights and everything turning left, all this weird stuff.
Yep.
The lady don't even stop. And don't forget when you turn left, light. It's a median, a big median where the panhandlers be asking for money and stuff. I guess she don't know about that. Man, she turned that big old left. Man, I'm talking about hit the median. Boom! And the car come up on two wheels, the front wheel up. I'm like, oh, that tire gonna be flat in a minute. No, it ain't. Shout out to Gateway Tires. Garth Bolden got some incredible tires because them motherfuckers kept on rolling.
Garth Bolden got
I'm telling you, dog, them motherfuckers did not flat from her backing up or hitting the median and going 100 miles per hour. So,
wow.
Chris come out and she fly through trying to catch her. Man, they doing, so I go back in there. I'm like, hey, buddy, call the police, man. You know what I mean? Let me see your phone. So I get on the phone, I'm talking to the police. I go in the gas station. Chris said they bust 2 U-turns up Old Hickory. She said she was doing 90. The lady had to be doing 110. Up Old Hickory.
Up. Going toward like...
Now going away from Nolensville, going towards Brentwood Academy.
Oh, my God.
The other
towards Granny White.
The other way.
The first turn was going towards the interstate.
Andrews Cadillac and Publix on the left.
But first they were going towards the interstate to get on to go 65 North. But Chris caught up with them. She U-ed, came back down Old Hickory going to a Publix and everything, doing 100, got up there by the Publix, did another U-turn, came back down the street going 100, like rolling. So then she was like...
side note.
Okay, talk to me.
Chris.
Nuts.
Don't be chasing criminals.
I'm trying to call her and tell her, but her phone is on the floorboard.
And she's going 90, following
she can't
this crazy.
Yeah, she thinks she's in a movie.
You just said that this was a junkie chick.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Chunky junkie.
Listen, I'm telling you.
So she could have had a gun, could have had anything.
Right.
Man, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So the police is on the phone. I'm telling the police, hey, man, my car just got stolen. I'm telling y'all right now, man, y'all need to get over here, Franklin Road, Old Hickory. It's a silver Armada 17, boom, bam, built.
They're going back and forth.
Get here. I said, they was like, okay, it's got stolen. It's going to be okay. I said, all right, now let me tell y'all this part. Now, my pistol is in the armrest of this car with my phone on the seat. They was like, oh, okay. So we on the way.
That's helpful information for them.
Yeah, yes, I want to tell them that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm registered. I got a license. I got everything. But I'm telling y'all, if you think it's just cool that it's a stolen car, it's a pistol in there. So get on it. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about the car. Get that pistol for the junkie lady to do something crazy.
I just saw a story about guns being stolen and like the most of the time when a gun is stolen, it's in a vehicle that is being stolen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
or they break into the vehicle and get the gun out of the glove box.
Your gun is in that car.
No, she didn't know. She wasn't riding with me.
Oh.
Remember, I dropped her off.
See, you know that is where I'm about to call Chris and be like, what are you doing?
So, look, they get on the interstate.
Hey, Chris ain't scared.
I know. They get on the interstate. She doing $1 million. They going towards Hardin Place, 65 North.
Yeah.
Riding. The lady cuts off an 18-wheeler and swerves over. She go from the far left fast lane to jump off on Hardin Place. Chris behind her, so Chris hit the brakes. Her car do a 360, hit the wall, smack her back end off, so her car stopped. The junkie lady then took off in my truck, then got off the exit, and then zoomed off. So I called Chris. She finally answered the phone. She's like, I was trying to catch him. I said, man, just get back here. It's cool. Don't worry about that. So she pulled back up. When she pulled back up, the police pulling up. So I'm telling the police, look, man, the little lady stole my truck, this, that, and the other, described the truck. Told the dude, can you get your manager pull up the cameras?
tape,
and they they text the video back to us. So we sitting there watching the video. The police is sitting there. Shout out to the police too. They was on it. You know what I mean? Much love to them. I forgot my guy name, man, but he from Jacksonville. But new guy too. Just got out the academy. But the dude was like, man, they sitting there watching him and his boss. He's sitting there watching. They like, hey man, hold on, rewind it back. I said, how did she get from the beginning of the gas station to the street in a straight line, flooring it like that? I'm telling you, and this is what you got to remember. The lady jumped in the car. Anytime if I get to use your car, if I use your car, or I use Zeph's car, I get in the car, I got to find out where, like, where's the gear shift, or like,
the seat.
For her to jump in, close the door, and drop it, like.
And you're 6'8". She's short.
The seat all the way back.
Yeah.
And my top part is broke, so you can't lift it up. You know what I mean? So she got it. She ain't no seatbelt on or nothing. So.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, I'm telling Buddy when he come in there, I'm like, hey, man, y'all got to get there. You know what I mean? This, that, and other. I'm registered. My pistol's in there. So forth and so on. Yeah, be careful when y'all get it. It's Metro. Yeah, it's Metro.
It's right there on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
So while we going through that, about 10 minutes go by, he get a call on his CB. It was a wreck on Nolansville. I'm like, oh, man. He was like, hold on, give me a minute. Walk outside, come back. He was like, man, my partner finna pull up down there. I'm going to take a picture of it. Let me know if this your truck. Come back, see the picture. That's my truck. So he was like, man, you can ride down there with us. You can ride with your wife. I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to ride with y'all because I don't know what her car looked like after back ending the median on the interstate. So I jump in with them.
Gosh.
First of all, if you're over 6 foot, be careful out there, man. You do not want to be in the back of a police car. Ain't no room back there. It's hard to get the seatbelts on. I'm telling you, man, it's a rough life back there in the back seat of the police car.
They didn't let you sit in the front?
No, it had a partner with them.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, man, come on.
So was that your first time in the back of a police car?
As an adult, yeah. Remember when they tried to take us to jail in Memphis for the AAU trip, that was different. But
there was a Georgia
so I
story,
get
too.
back there, dog, and when they drive
Those plastic seats.
it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing.
The partner should have sat in the back out of respect and let you sit in the front.
That's so little. You got to be 5'1" to get back out and put your knees straight. But we riding to it, and we get off on Hardin Place, and the way he turned right, getting off Hardin Place, going 65 North, turn right, getting off Hardin Place. That Mapco turned left, like he going to the zoo. So I tell him, damn, what was this lady going to do? Like, she going to feed the giraffes or something? Like, why is this lady taking my truck to the damn zoo? Like, what the hell is at the zoo this time of night? So I'm thinking, you know what? They do got them dipping dots. Them was cold-blooded, so maybe she was trying to come down or something. Yeah, you feel me? I'm like, okay. When we get there.
You have said that before.
I'm telling cold-blooded. They let me out. I'm walking up on the truck, and the police officer walking to me, he was like, man, dude, the car's totaled. He said the car flipped twice. It flipped 2 times with her in it.
I thought it flipped when I looked at the video because all
Dawn
the
said that in the text stream because all of your airbags were out.
All of them. And shout out to Nissan, dog. Infinity. Man, they got their airbags. Woo! I didn't even know y'all had airbags in the roof.
Yeah.
Car ain't got no roof. Car got airbags in the roof, though. I'm telling you, the sunroof was shattered out. The back windows were shattered out. But the airbags, man, them was some pillowy, like, airbags, too. So
M.E. real quick on YouTube says, you are not catching a crackhead.
No, I'm telling you.
She flipped twice.
Man, they out there.
She flipped twice inside the vehicle, and then what happened?
With no seatbelt on.
Was she there?
Check this out, y'all. We get there. The lady left my phone on the passenger seat, took the pistol. Oh. The holster's on the ground. She's vanished. I didn't see no blood at the scene or anything. God looks out for babies, elderlies, and fools. I'm telling y'all this right now. He got a special eye for them, man. And I'm telling you right now,
she
dog.
She flipped twice with no seatbelt on
and
vanished.
And vanished. They was going to bring the dogs when we left to let them go try to find her and everything they looking for. But, hey, man, wherever she at today, her body got to be, she ain't going to never get in pause, but she need to be trying to get over there to pause to get some recoup for her body in the cold plunge because, dog, I'm telling you, it was wild, man. So I grabbed my phone, you know what I mean, gave them all the information. DeJuan hit me up this morning to State Farm, man. DeJuan and them are excellent, so y'all need to rock with them. But, dog, I'm telling you, this was fresh out of movie. I'm going to get the footage, and if I get the footage, I'm going to post it so y'all can just see her backing up. I done seen a lot of movies. Grand Theft Auto, video games. I done seen Fast and the Furious.
Den of Thieves 2, you just
I just seen Den of Thieves 2, and he put it in reverse like that, too, on the movie. Yeah. Dog, he couldn't mess with her.
O'Shea Jackson did?
Yeah, he couldn't mess with this junkie. Now, this junkie here, boy, this is a driving junkie right here. She need to be, like, on some kind of little speedway. You know what I mean?
Holly says, Slay, you just said on the New Year's Eve show for people not to steal cars.
That's what I said. I just said that. And a little lady to go do it, man. And then on the footage, did I tell y'all 10 minutes before I got there, it was a Mercedes parked there at the gas pump, and she went and checked that car, opened up the door, and I guess there were no keys in it. She closed the door and would just continued walking around the parking lot. So she had been sitting there waiting to do this throughout the day.
She was just waiting for her chance.
But just think if I would have bust that U-turn at that red light and went to the other shell, this would have never happened. Y'all would have never got this story.
Oh,
yeah, but you could have gotten pulled over. And
could have. But everybody was okay.
Wait,
this was last night. Yes.
Last night.
So
this was like
11:14.
11:30 at night. I mean,
so the crackhead is gone and the pistol is gone.
Yes.
Like right now.
but your phone
Right now.
was there.
My phone was there.
She didn't take your phone.
And so I have a little beacon, little GPS on my phone where I can check like the miles and it tell you if you're texting and driving and all that. So
Does
I
it
looked
tell
at
you
it.
the miles per hour?
No, but it tells me, this is what it told me. Dangerous to handle at top speeds when taking curves. Exceeding speed limit. like you should have seen
You're like, you have no
track.
idea,
No,
app.
the track. I'm like, wow. And then it showed where it stopped. And that was it.
That's terrifying.
Dude, it was nuts, man. I'm telling you,
Okay,
dog.
note to everybody's self: turn your car off and lock it when you go to the gas
This was my thing.
I have a question.
It was cold.
How did it drive without the key? Like, doesn't
It'll
it
stay-
eventually
Yeah,
turn
if you
off?
stop it.
Once you
Mine is
stop it,
yeah,
But it's
it'll
not
stop.
until
Once you stop it.
That's right.
Okay.
And see, mine is a 17, so the newer models probably do, like, once you
have
get
a
so far
radius.
away,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it cut off. But
Wow.
at that time, nope. So, yeah, man. Telling you, I was
DeMario
wild.
I'm
says she's about to
speechless.
sell that pistol.
Yeah. Well, that pistol is registered, so they have the serial number. They all on the lookout for it. So,
That's how she'll get caught.
yeah, playing around. If she's still, man,
Or she'll
wanna-
sell it on the street.
Or she probably sleep in the creek. Like, man, that lady, man,
Somebody said
she's hurt somewhere.
Multiple people saying she's probably hiding in the zoo.
Man, I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
No, I'm telling you, she is hurt. Oh, man, she was right there across from High Five Bar, right there on Nolensville, right when you hit the zoo. Yeah, my people over there, too. That's where I got my first system at.
So was the accident on Nolensville
It was
Pike?
on Nolensville Pike. About 7 minutes from where we were. And that's my whole thing. Where was you going? Where were you going? You ain't had nowhere to go. Was you just going to ride till you ran out of gas? I was on 3/4 tank, too. You ain't had nowhere to go. You was just going to ride. You rode to Nolensville to the zoo. You thought they were going to let you in?
I can't believe they haven't caught her.
No, that's
I can't believe there was zero
I can't
blood at
believe
the
that's what I'm
scene
talking about,
after
right?
rolling
Twice.
that car twice.
That's how
Twice.
good those airbags are.
Like glass broken, everything.
And you know how busy Nolensville is all
Well,
the time.
And
Plus-
there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on
Yeah,
late at
absolutely.
night on that road.
Especially in
too.
that little area.
she's definitely hurt, though.
Gotta
Because,
be.
like, the airbag from the steering wheel can crack your ribs.
Imagine what it did for the. But get what though? When you a lot of time when them drunk drivers and stuff they talked about and people be high, their body be limp.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you don't automatically tense up and you know what I mean. So she probably thought
true.
she was on like a little ride. Or
Crack
something.
lady had an advantage in this situation.
Oh man, super crack. Oh, she was ready.
Oh my gosh. What
Look
a
how it all come
perfect
together.
Drop.
Look how it all come together, man.
Chunky,
This is nuts.
junkie.
So, let me just say
yeah,
this.
junkie.
Chunky. Let me just say this real quick. I found out what happened because of somebody's grandpa that was at physical therapy with Mr. Babs this morning that knew the story and was
Just
like,
randomly said, "Hey, do you know
Ron
Slay?"
Travis was like, yeah, why?
Yeah.
That's how I found out like some of the
Dude.
details. I didn't know all this though. This is nuts.
Ooh, so there's
Oh
been
my
no sleep.
gosh.
I went to sleep probably about 2 or 3 hours, and then I couldn't sleep because you just keep on seeing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right.
What could I have
For-
done? Like,
yeah.
what was my whole thing was, where the hell were you going, little lady? You were better off asking for a little ride,
You can't understand that, though. There's no way.
dude. I'm
Retired,
telling you.
Junkie.
That's
Retired
all.
A
SF said
5'4" female.
Yes, might be 5'2".
This guy says, bruh, I was down in Memphis on Bill Street, came out the club only to see my car drive by me. Candy Apple Red 96 Impala SS on 22. And that slap in the trunk beating nobody needs nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Your car drives by you.
Oh, man. With a classic song playing, too. Nobody needs nobody. Wow. Hey, man, I'm telling you, it was out of a movie, dog.
I'm glad everybody's safe, including Chris, who spun out on the interstate. I mean,
Dude, I told her when we got home, she was like,
scary.
I'm crazy. I was, you think? Like, I'm calling you to tell you, hey, stop.
What are you
Like,
doing?
it's okay.
Let
Like,
it go.
we're insured. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna be all right, I promise you.
No, it's the principle of
Yeah,
it.
that's
Justice says,
what
Slay
instinct is.
6'8", crack
I know
lady.
what she said.
Crack lady wasn't even
I feel
close.
her.
Crack lady wasn't even close to the airbags when they popped. She was snuggled between the bags like a pig in a blanket.
Very true. Now, you should have seen the armrest. The armrest was caved in towards the back seat. Like, it's, I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
That is nuts.
I don't understand it.
Coconuts.
Every
Oh
bit of it.
my gosh.
Every bit of it. Shout out to Metro, though, man. Metro came through and
So that was Metro, not Brentwood?
Yeah, it was Metro. She didn't make it there. I thought she was going 65 South, but at least she was a little smart because they would have DDT'd her up there playing around.
Oh, Brentwood
through that
was
plane.
ready.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm sure they were alerted and were ready for that.
Because I told the police first they were going 65, because she took off going that way and I couldn't see. I was like, man, maybe she went 65 South. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
But-
toward Concord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she was going the other way,
Yep.
to the zoo.
Yeah, she wanted to see the animals and stuff. Like they was going to be out.
I'm
They
about
gonna
to
look it up.
text Chris and be like, you are
Yeah,
nuts.
This is tripping.
All right. Well, welcome to 3HL.
We out here.
We're glad you're safe,
Reese from
Slay.
Reese and Laura wrote, this is why I love this show.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's always something.
Reality show.
Babs falling in an icy pool trying to break up
Hey,
ice.
that's nothing compared to this.
I mean, just wait a day.
Holy
We'll have something
cow.
for you on Monday. Well, I'm glad everybody's safe,
Yes.
especially Chris and your sister.
Yep.
Because they were in danger. You were in the mini mart or whatever.
Yes.
Don't
It was
stand
a-
too
a high
close to the
speed.
squishy. All right, more 3HL next, 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, fellas? Let's get in the game with GameDayMen'sHealth.com. It's 615-898-9367 is the number you can call or text and get all the way into the game. Let's say, just understand that it's a new year and you're already frustrated probably with your lack of gains at the gym. Maybe you're feeling like you're doing everything right, like diet and exercise, but you're not really seeing the results you want to see. So how you going to change that? You call this number, 615-898-9367. With that number, you get activated into the game. And so it's like walking to the scores table. What you got to understand, 1 in 4 men over 30 have low testosterone levels. Low testosterone can affect energy levels, workouts, sleep, bedroom activities, and make you grumpy. So you got 2 locations, Green Hills or Hendersonville, to get on into the game. And if you want to be in shape by the summer, you need to start right now. You go to the link and you click. And in 15 minutes, you will know your levels when you go there and get your consultation. Why are you waiting? Pick up the phone and call now. 615-898-9367. Get your T levels checked so you can get in the game. Get your energy right. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Welcome back into 3HL Radio on 104.5 The Zone, man. Trash Talk Friday is popping and rolling. So, listen, man, you got to be safe out there, man. You just can't wait to be king. Why Zeph came back with this song, I have no earthly idea. And even though this is my favorite movie ever by Disney,
It is your favorite movie, and you are deeply disturbed that I have not seen it.
Yeah, you have a problem. And if you haven't seen Beauty and the Beast, you have a problem. That's my second favorite movie.
Might have stumbled onto that one before.
But the original one, though. Not these little ones.
No. I was thinking of Shrek. I've seen Shrek.
Ah, yeah, that's new age. I'm talking about our age. The old school.
I'm waiting on Den of Thieves 2 to come on my television.
You ain't gonna stop watching. I'll tell you that. I'm telling you that right now.
615-737-1045. Number 9, Kentucky at Vanderbilt, 1:30 tomorrow, ESPN.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Mm-hmm.
That has a potential to be a real back and forth.
Yes, it does.
Like streaky game.
Yes, it does. We're gonna see. Kentucky, they got that length, and they play with the floor space just like Vanderbilt does. So the matchup, Vanderbilt's going to have to defend way better than they did at Alabama. They're going to defend like they did against Tennessee, which offense is different. It's a little bit more compact.
Got to defend the perimeter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep your man in front. We'll see how it goes.
Number 6, Tennessee at number 1, Auburn. 7:30 p.m. ESPN.
Man.
Only time I'll do today, I promise.
She didn't even say anything. She just shot you a
She
look.
didn't need to. I was looking at her, waiting on her to give him the look. This is the thing with this game, dog. Tahad Pettiford for Auburn is a Kai Ziegler. Like that matchup, Tahad Pettiford has been killing the game.
So, a couple things real quick. Auburn favored by 6.5 in this matchup. The ESPN matchup indicator gives Auburn a 74% chance to win. Tennessee just a 26% chance to win that game.
I don't think that's far-fetched.
What is that environment going to be like?
Nuts.
For people that don't know what the jungle is at Auburn.
Slade witnessed it.
Yes, limited seating, right? Less than 10,000.
No, I think it's 9,100, right?
9,100.
Yep.
9,100, 241 or something. I mean, 9121 or 9141, something like that.
About 9,000. It's a perfect venue size.
It's crazy, dog.
Which means it's loud as crap.
It's going to be chaotic. And it's not just about the students. I know, like, when Bruce Pearl changed the seating at Tennessee, brought the students closer to the floor. This right here, the students are close to the floor, and they all the way around on one side of the court. But it's not just about them. The alums, the
people in the city.
Yeah, people in the stand. I don't care, old or young. They're up. This ain't no sit down, do a good play, then we going to applaud. This right here is we all in from the get-go. When they run out the tunnel, it is the jungle. Like, it's crazy.
One of my volleyball teammates, her and her family live like 25 minutes outside of Auburn on a farm around there, but they bought basketball season tickets and all in and don't miss a game.
Like they down. And then the way is being pumped up, this will be the first game day this year. So they'll be on scene. I think they already got people lined up outside. And then they said everybody's free to get in for game day. So,
I mean, that place will be packed for game day.
Man, this is going to be nuts enough for game day. Like, that environment going to be crazy. What?
Yeah.
And then supposedly Janai Broome is supposed to play.
We haven't been good at football in a while, so basketball is king right now.
Yep. Like, they in it. They in it. It's going to be interesting to see the individual matchups, though. Like, Milicic, if he plays against Janai Broome. If
Broome's good to go?
I mean, we're hearing rumors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We won't know till then, but if he comes in, how does Bruce Pearl play him? Does he play him at the 5, or does he go back with his original lineup with him at the 4, Cardwell at the 5?
And does he go? I mean,
does he go?
Is he limited?
Like, me personally, the way that team is built, I would have no problem sitting him if he was not 85 or 90%.
Right.
Like, I want him as healthy as possible because I don't want to sit back.
It's a long season.
It's and they coming at you. You know what I mean?
And I know this sounds bad, but in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, the national championship is what they have.
Is it worth it to rush back?
Yeah. And I think this is one of them you got to protect yourself from yourself. But it's so many matchups, like Chaz versus their wings, Zakai versus Pettiford, Baker Mazar. Like, they got so many players. Tennessee is going to have to play and they're going to have to punch first. This is not going to – if you go in there thinking you're going to counter what they do, if they hit 2 threes.
You got to take it to them.
Yeah, you better take it to them.
So Chaz Lanier, 23 Tuesday against Mississippi State.
Yes.
9 threes in his last 2 games. He's got to come up big.
Yep. He got to come up big. Zakai got to come up big. Mason. Darling Stone Dubois, I said it on Ramon them show. If everybody does what they're supposed to do, and Darling Stone Dubois can come out with 10 and 6, and everybody else played normal, like Gainey coming off the bench, Cade Phillips. If you can get 10 and 6 from Dubois and it be timely, you can walk out there with a victory. If you don't get no bench production, which Auburn will, and it's a guarantee,
I was going to say
you're in
Auburn's
trouble.
deeper.
You're in trouble.
615-737-1045. Greg Cosell at 420. NFL Films, NFL matchup. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't hear me? War damn eagle.
I was like doing show stuff. I didn't hear you.
Talk that talk, Babs.
Also coming up at 5:30, Tracy Wolfson will be on the sidelines for in Kansas City for Bills and Chiefs. She will join us at 5:30 to break that game down. Your phone calls when we come back, and we'll get into some Tennessee Titans football. 615-737-1045.
What's happening, good people? Brentwood Jewelry coming to you, BrentwoodJewelry.com. That's where you go when your handheld devices on your laptop. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood. Guess where? Just off Franklin Road, people. You can mosey in there physically and go see exactly what they have for over 50 years. Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the community with exceptional style, exceptional deals every single day. And it's been happening for over 50 years. Whether you're getting ready for an engagement, whether you're trying to get a watch, whether you're trying to get repairs, does not matter. You need a necklace repaired, an earring duplicated, or a watch having some maintenance done. Because of the workmanship that goes into Brentwood Jewelry's customized pieces, Brentwood Jewelry is also experts in repairs. So get in there with their vintage family heirloom, recreate a missing piece, whatever it may be, they will not let you down. This is what Brentwood Jewelry does. And when you need that engagement piece, mosey on in there and let them set you up. Don't you go in there and try to do no work. They got a room set aside for you. They bring in options and they get it right. Don't mess up. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for over 50 years. BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good afternoon. It's 4:04. I'm Joseph Bonato live for the 104.5 The Zone studio. A busy day in the NFL as former Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll is headed to Vegas to become the coach of the Raiders. The Jags have finalized a deal with Bucs OC Liam Cohen to become the team's next head coach. And the Texans have fired OC Bobby Slowick just one offseason from him having 5 head coach interviews. NFL Championship weekend is upon us on Sunday as the Commanders and Eagles kick things off in the NFC Championship game. That kickoff is at 2 o'clock. On Sunday night, the Bills and Chiefs square off in the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. That one kicks off at 5:30. Both games will be broadcasted right here on The Zone starting at 1 p.m. In college hoops this weekend, Vanderbilt hosts number 9 Kentucky at Memorial Gym. Tip-off is at 1:30. Number 22 Missouri hosting number 16 Ole Miss at 5:30. And the game of the week is number 6 Tennessee heads to the Jungle to face off against top-ranked Auburn. Tip-off for that one at 7:30. You can listen to the Ball Network call the game right here on The Zone starting at 7. For your foundation repair and whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bring news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Ron Slay had to step away to go get a rental car. He'll be back here in just a little bit. What a story.
Unreal.
Babsy's here.
Hey, happy Friday, people. Happy Friday.
Again, number 6 Tennessee playing at number 1 Auburn tomorrow at 7:30 at night. College Game Day will be there. First broadcast of the season.
Is that 7:30 Central?
7:30 Central. Secondary tickets through the roof. $400 in the upper deck.
I mean, these are like football game prices here.
Right?
Yeah.
SEC scheduled.
That's upper deck. Lower deck's going for
$500 and $600.
Yeah,
Yep.
600
and more. Some over 1,000.
Oof.
For one of how many basketball games they play in a year? 30. That's something. SEC basketball action tomorrow. Again, you can catch Tennessee and Auburn right here on 104.5 The Zone. Number 14 Mississippi State at South Carolina, noon on the SEC Network. Number 9 Kentucky at Vanderbilt, 1:30 ESPN. Number 13 Texas A&M at Texas. They're doing that rematch early. They just played 1:30 ESPN2. Georgia at number 5 Florida, 2:30 SEC Network. 16 Ole Miss at number 22 Missouri, who didn't win an SEC game last year and is now 22. That's how quickly you can rise and fall. 5 o'clock SEC Network. Tennessee Auburn again 7:30 ESPN. LSU at number 4 Alabama 7:30 SEC Network. Oklahoma at Arkansas, 7:30 ESPN2. There is a huge college women's basketball game going on today, right now. I have no idea why. 4 o'clock on a Friday. Today's not a holiday I don't know about, is it? Like Boxing Day or something? Armistice Day? I don't know. Why are they playing this game right now?
Why not?
Number 5, LSU at number 2, South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 14.5. LSU leading 11-9, 5:57 to go first quarter. South Carolina won the last matchup in the SEC tournament last season. In fact, I went back and looked. South Carolina has won 16 consecutive games against LSU. The last time LSU beat South Carolina was in January of 2012.
Wow.
Dawn Staley's doing that to a lot of
Yes,
schools.
she is.
But she's got it rolling. 615-737-1045. Again, Slay Dog be back in about an hour. Johnny in the Borough next up on 3HL. Johnny, what's up?
Hey, guys, it's my second time calling this week. I wanted to give Ron some ideas again about some betting, but I heard his story, and that sounded like a mission from a video game.
Crazy.
But I wanted to tell him, hey, I found an Infinity over close to the zoo. It's slightly borrowed. I don't know how many miles are on it, but hey, he might be interested in buying that. But, dude, that story's crazy. But, Babs, I got an idea for you. If Tennessee beats Auburn tomorrow, I think you should buy Slay some dinner.
Yeah, what? Did y'all come up with a bet yesterday, or are we still working on that?
Wait, buy Slay some what?
Dinner.
Dinner? Nah. We did come up with something, Johnny. I think it's
Another bet.
yes. So for a week, whoever's team wins, the other person has to wear the gear and say something nice about the team that beat them in our open.
Yeah, because Slay said Bruce Pearl gave him some Auburn gear a couple years ago, so he actually has
So
some
he has
stuff.
some.
Do you have Tennessee stuff?
I do not.
Oh,
Good in UT balls.
thank you, Johnny.
Don't worry, Don. We'll take care of you.
I'm sure you guys will. I'm sure it will not be a problem. And Tennessee gear is pretty easy to get in this town.
And you've already said something nice. I'm not going to play it. I told you I wouldn't.
Don't play it.
But next week, if the Vols win, I'll make a bet with you. The Vols win, I'll play it all next week, every hour, every segment. But if they don't win, I won't play it for the rest of the year.
Wow. No, I think the show loses if you don't play that thing
What?
sometimes.
Stop. By the way, LSU could not travel because of the snow, Slade told us. That's why this game is going on right now.
How unlikely is that? LSU can't
Right.
get somewhere because
LSU cannot get out of town
snow.
because they have 8 inches of snow.
Yeah. So that actually happened. 615-737-1045. Jeff mentioned this in the update. Las Vegas Raiders have hired Pete Carroll as head coach. He's going to be 74 in September. He does not look 74.
No, I thought, I was
He looks
talking
like
about
he's
it
50.
this morning. I thought he was 63. That's what I said. I was like, oh, wow, he signed a 3-year deal. What is he, 63? Like, he's old. Oh, no, he's 74. He signed a 3-year deal.
He'll be 74 in September. I knew it because I had looked this up before because he looked young, and I was like, well, how is he that? But anyway, he was his time at Seattle ended in 2023. He sat out last year in terms of coaching, but he was an advisor to the Seahawks in 2024. Won a national title at USC, won a Super Bowl with Seattle, should have won 2 Super Bowls with Seattle. But, of course, the don't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch and let's throw a little flat route against the Patriots thing.
That's never
Malcolm Butler with the interception.
going away.
Former Titan Malcolm Butler with the interception. From On 3, Ohio State working to keep their stars. Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith reportedly has a $4.5 million offer to enter the portal. Some are alleging that it's Texas.
That is
offering.
insane.
$4.5 million.
But if
For a
somebody's worth
sophomore
it,
wide receiver.
that kid's worth it, right?
He's worth it. Hell yeah, he's worth it. And then some, probably. At least his agent will say that.
$4.5 million in college.
They have another receiver, Carnell Tate, who is allegedly being offered $1 million to enter the portal. And the rumor is
just peanuts.
That's Oregon that's doing that.
Didn't Tennessee battle on Carnell Tate with Ohio State?
I believe that's true, yes.
I saw Tennessee got the Notre Dame offensive lineman.
Sam Pendleton is his name.
And they had another one that entered the portal yesterday as well,
2.
I believe. They had 2 yesterday?
Starting center, starting left guard, and Sam Pendleton, who started 7 games at guard until the starter came back from injury. I mean, they play for a national championship. Where are these? What is going on here?
I mean, is it money?
I mean, I guess.
Didn't you mention yesterday not sure who their quarterback's going to be next year?
Yeah, but apparently they have like 5 in waiting. But yes, there is no proven quarterback there. I mean, I think that probably plays into it a little bit, right?
Pendleton started 7 games for Notre Dame last season. He was a 4-star recruit from Pfafftown, North Carolina. Tennessee offered him, but they really weren't in it in the recruiting process. He has 3 years left. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, offensive guard. Tennessee replacing 4 starters on the offensive line. Lost both guards, although Carrick is trying to win an appeal for an additional year. Did you know that, Zeph?
I did know that.
There you go.
What's the appeal?
I don't remember.
I'll have to look up the details.
I think anybody and everybody's appealing an extra year for the.
Well, I mean, shoot, it worked for Pavia.
Yeah.
And then now they might change the rule.
Vols also picked up an all-conference offensive guard from Arizona, Wendell Moe is his name. Pendleton started, again, the first 7 games for Notre Dame this year with an injured, when an injured teammate came back. So, theoretically, left tackle Lance Hurd, and then your guards would be Wendell Moe and Sam Pendleton or Carrick if he gets his appeal. William Satterwhite will be the center and did get some time. Right tackle will be David Sanders, the freshman coming in, number one recruit in the country. We had him on the show after he signed. Very, very intelligent dude.
Yes.
Really,
Very
really
likable.
good player, but a freshman. So that's what's going on. All right, Greg Cosell, when we come back, we'll break down the conference championship games and probably hit on some potential draft picks. Zeph, you had something you want to say?
He's trying to get a medical red shirt.
There you go. More 3HL next, 104.5 The Zone. Come to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. New or pre-owned, these are your guys. Just let them know what you're looking for, whether you need more space, maybe you need something more gas efficient, better gas mileage, maybe you need something cheaper, whatever you are looking for, let them know, and they'll point you in the right direction. Go inside after you take your test drive. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. All the deals are online, GuptonMotors.com. Some of them are select 2024 Jeep Gladiators up to 25% off MSRP, $500 off every pre-owned vehicle with dealer-arranged financing, 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4xe, 0% for 72 months, and the big dogs, the Ram 3500, 4500, 5500, in stock, upfitted, and ready for all of your commercial needs. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. All the dealership information is there. Phone number, address, deals they have going on in January, all of the inventory, new or pre-owned, right there at GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway, beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog will be back in just a little bit.
Mama said knock you out.
Greg Cosell joins us now. NFL Films, NFL Matchup, Conference Championship games going on this weekend. Greg, what's up? How are you? Greg, what's up? How are you?
You guys got me?
Got you.
Got you now.
All right.
What is going on,
What's happening,
man?
guys?
I mean, we're down to 3 more games.
I know, it's crazy.
I feel like it's flown by, like it crawled by watching the Titans this season, but now it's flying.
It always goes, it's funny. The season starts and I get into it and then, seems like a lull and then all of a sudden we're here and then it seems like it's gone by really fast.
Yeah, and then we dive into draft evaluation, which,
I've already started that stuff.
we cannot wait, Cosell. We cannot wait. You want to talk games first, Mayor?
Whatever you want to do, Babsy.
Okay, we can talk games first. Okay, broad, big picture, what is the most intriguing matchup for you, Cosell, in any of these games?
Well, I got to tell you, I was totally wrong and totally fascinated by what the Bills did last week against the Ravens. I did not think that they could come out and run the ball, nor did I think they would come out and attempt to run it that way against the Ravens, who had the #1 run defense in the league. So given that the Bills have sort of evolved into that, I'm fascinated to see if they can go into Kansas City against arguably the best defensive coordinator in the game, Steve Spagnuolo, and just line up and run the ball with 6 offensive linemen, a fullback, because in some ways that's become their identity. So that to me is really interesting because I know the way I felt. I would imagine a lot of other people felt the same way, that it would have to be a Josh Allen game last week against the Ravens, and that this week would have to be a Josh Allen game. So I'm really curious to see how the Bills go into this game, Dawn. I just, I don't have an answer for it. I'm just really intrigued by it.
Yeah. Agreed.
So how do you view that matchup? Let's start there. Bills and Chiefs, and we've seen it before, and we kind of jokingly say whichever quarterback has the ball at the end of the game wins, right? How do you view this matchup, 5:30 Sunday in Kansas City, Bills, Chiefs for the Super Bowl?
Well, there's so many elements to this game, Brent, and that which is one of the reasons it's so great. I mean, the Chiefs this year have not really been a high-powered offense. In doing all my research these last number of weeks for these teams, Patrick Mahomes has far and away the lowest completion percentage of any quarterback in the league on passes 20 or more yards in the air from the line of scrimmage. He's only completed 26%. By contrast, during the season, Sam Darnold completed 56%. Think about that for a minute. So their pass game has become very horizontal, very schemed. They don't really have a vertical dimension right now in the way they play. Obviously, Xavier Worthy can run, but they haven't really deployed him that way. And their run game really hasn't been very good in recent weeks. So the Chiefs' offense is, in an odd way, is not very good, but yet, because their defense is so good, they're in every game, and all it takes is 1 or 2 Mahomes plays, which he's an absolute master at. And it seems they win. They do win these games. And of course, Steve Spagnuolo's defense is so critical. I mean, they blitzed Stroud 10 times in the fourth quarter alone last week, and just dominated with pressure. So the Chiefs are kind of their record's phenomenal, obviously, but they're a really fascinating team because of the way in which they sort of have evolved. Same with the Bills. I mean, we talked about what they did, last week. It's, everybody thinks it's Mahomes versus Allen, and I don't know. Are they going to play that way? Is it going to come down to that? Maybe it does. But that's not the way they've sort of been playing, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, they got Travis Kelce more involved than Kansas City did. I would imagine that there's probably a pretty healthy game plan for him, right?
You would think. I mean, one thing that I know for sure the Bills are going to do, because this is part of what they do, is they're going to spy Patrick Mahomes on third down. They spied Lamar Jackson on every third down last week when these two teams played Week 11, Bills, Chiefs. They spied Mahomes, who had no rushing yards, by the way, in that game. I mean, how many times have we seen in critical third down situations, Mahomes run, for 15 yards, 3rd and 9, so that's a big part of how they sustain their offense. And they had the number 1 third down offense in the league this year. The Chiefs offense is kind of an anomaly because they're really good in a number of areas. They were number 1, I think, in third down conversions. They were certainly in the top 3. I think they were in the top 3 or 4 in time of possession, but yet they don't really have a run game. They don't really have a vertical passing game. So it's really been kind of interesting.
From a Bills perspective, you mentioned running the football with James Cook, man. Something happened in week 5. 13 of his 16 rushing touchdowns have occurred since week 5.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is beating teams in a different manner than we've seen him beat teams in the past, right? And one thing that he's been very good at this year and hasn't necessarily been good at this during his career is protecting the football. Cosell, just 8 turnovers this year.
Yeah. And, it's funny you mentioned that, Brent, because 3 of the 4 teams, and maybe you could put the Commanders into some degree, but 3 of the 4 teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Eagles, it's almost like old school football. They just don't turn the ball over. They don't necessarily get explosive plays in the pass game the way everybody says, oh, that's the way you have to play. They don't necessarily get those, but they never turn the ball over. And that really changes things. And the other factor, and it's absolutely true for maybe all 4 of these teams, but it really stands out to me with the Bills and the Eagles, is their 4-down offenses. When they get to the 50-yard line going in, if it's 4th and 4 or less, they're going for it. And that changes totally the dynamic of how you play defense. How many times do you see defensive players when it's 3rd and 9 and a team gains 7 yards and right away all the defensive players, put their arm up, 4th down. Well, if it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, the Eagles, the Bills, the Chiefs, probably even the Commanders, they're going for it and they get it. So it totally changes the way you play defense.
Washington at Philadelphia. Let's start with the Eagles, Cosell. And Slay and I kind of look at this from a sports betting perspective, and the way I look at the Eagles are a 6-point favorite in this game, and I know you don't care about any of those things, but
I don't.
And the Eagles are the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now, right?
Currently, yes. But once that Buffalo Kansas City winner emerges, they will be the favorite. But in terms of the Eagles, this is what I'm looking at from a very elementary level. I do not trust their pass game, and Jalen Hurts has that knee that he's dealing with. He did practice yesterday. And so immediately I start thinking, man, maybe that rookie quarterback can get something done. And then I remember they have Saquon Barkley. I mean,
it's funny you mention that. I've given that a lot of thought. And here's the way I think about it. Every coach talks about explosive plays. Every offensive coach, they want explosive plays, right? That's what they want. Now, normally and percentage-wise, over the last number of years, there have been far more explosive plays in the pass game than the run game. So we always assume that you have to have some kind of meaningful pass game, which right now the Eagles, they don't have one necessarily. But they get explosive plays in their run game. Think about this, Brent. Last week, they had 3 touchdowns of 44-plus yards, okay? Think about that. When was the last time a team in a playoff game had 3 offensive touchdowns of 44-plus yards and none of them were pass plays? They still get explosive plays. They just don't get them in the way we're conditioned to believe that you have to get them.
So did you see anything on film that led you to believe that Jalen Hurts was limited on some level in terms of what he could do out there last week?
Last week's game's a tough game to go by because the weather started to get real bad and everybody was kind of moving around very gingerly. So it was a tough game to get a feel for, how a team really is going to play. The bottom line is the Eagles' pass game, number one, they don't throw it a whole lot relative to a lot of other teams. Number two, it's not been overly, I should say it's been efficient, but not really big playish. Jalen's had a lot of games where he's completed 15 balls for 120 yards, But look, last week, Josh Allen had 16 completions for 127 yards. I mean, it's been an odd year. Like I said, we're all conditioned to believe that you've got to, throw the ball. Even Mahomes had 27 pass attempts, only about 180 yards. This has not been a playoffs where guys are going, 30 for 40 for 380 and 4 touchdowns. It's kind of a different style of football.
So the Commanders DC said, I think it was today, in his press conference, we will hit Jalen Hurts just like he's a running back. I mean, putting that out there, making sure it's known. How important is that in this matchup?
It's funny you mention that because, obviously I'm not, involved with the league and that kind of stuff. But just watching games, I think to myself, colleges are sending more and more quarterbacks to the league who can run, right, Dawn? I mean, you do college every week. You see it. These quarterbacks are phenomenal athletes. So what happens is they run. And when I say run, not running plays, but they leave the pocket on scrambles. Mm-hmm. So at some point, I don't know what the league's going to do, but I think you have to, at that moment, say that they're running backs. You have to be able to play football, And I don't know what the answer is. No, I'm not arguing in favor of guys getting smacked in the head and getting concussions, but it's, if they're going to run and that's going to become a more meaningful part of offenses because that's what quarterbacks are going to be as we keep going forward. I don't know what the answer is, but I think, you have to let them play to some degree. Yeah. That play where Mahomes ran around and kind of played with the defense and then fell down. I don't know what the answer is to that, but to me, you can't call a penalty there.
Agreed. It'll be interesting. So Jaden Daniels, needless to say, we've talked a lot about him on this show just because of where the Titans are. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting, too, because we had Mike Barganzi on who talked about... Because my question to him was, a rookie quarterback, how important is it for them to sit a year and be able to kind of develop? Most rookies are not ready to step in immediately in the league. And so we brought up Jaden, and he pointed out, he was like, if you looked at what they did early in the season offensively, they protected him a little bit. They made sure that he got that confidence. The offensive play calling was structured to where he could make throws, he could make plays, he could get that confidence. How different are they now, and why is he so successful?
Yeah, I think you see that a lot with young quarterbacks, really good coaching when they try to get them into games early with certain throws that are either no read or one read throws, just so they could complete balls and gain some confidence. And ideally, you stay ahead of the sticks. You ask a quarterback on 1st and 10 on the first play to throw a certain kind of ball, even if it gains 4 or 5 yards. Hey, it's 2nd and 5. You're in good shape. Your playbook's totally open. He feels comfortable, and you move on. They've expanded it a bit clearly because he's shown the ability to do a number of things that are, that you didn't necessarily expect him to be able to do. And the other factor, too, is, and I've had this conversation with offensive coaches over the last number of years, is what they do in college, okay? And even though the NFL game and the college game are not that similar, you still then work to what he's comfortable doing. That's really, really important. You have to play to the comfort level of your quarterback. You got to maximize what he feels good about and minimize his limitations and what he doesn't feel good about. That's coaching. You can't go into it and say, hey, this is my offense. You're going to run this offense. You've got to play to his comfort level. And that's what they've done really, really well. And, the other factor is with quarterbacks like Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, is you, in a sense, have to have two defenses on these plays. You have a defense for the first 2 to 2.5 seconds where your defense is structured within what the study, the probability, the tendency, but then you need a second defense when they move around. And it can't just be random because then you become undisciplined. You've got to practice that. So you, in a sense, have to have two defenses.
Interesting. Okay, random question. Did the Titans not do that? You're talking about play to their comfort level as a quarterback. Did the Titans visually on tape, did it look like they did not do that with Will Levis this season?
If I'm being honest, I would say not as much as I would have thought. That would be my answer. But again, I'm not in their building every day. But Levis is a certain kind of quarterback. He to me, any quarterback, you need to get them feeling good really early in the game. And by the way, Dawn, that's not easy because there's a balance. And everybody just assumes it's easy. But, when you're in the building and you're putting a game plan together and you've got a pretty good run game, as they did this year, which a lot of teams do, you're trying to figure out what's the balance between running the ball, throwing it early. That's not an easy thing to figure out. A lot of people might think it is. It's not. because you don't want to be so much one or so much the other. But, you just got to try to figure that, and then you got to figure out the opponent and how they play. So there's a lot that goes into this, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Callahan just recently did a 90-minute conversation with a media group in town called A to Z Sports, and we played some of it yesterday where he was talking about what he thought about Will Levis going into the season and what actually happened. And basically, he was kind of fooled by it all. And didn't anticipate.
Weren't we all?
Yeah, didn't anticipate him struggling in the way that he did.
Right.
And he said, training camp, everything's good, even the beginning of the Chicago game. And he did some things that were good in the Jets game, he said. But he said it was difficult as a play caller because you just couldn't call the strength throws for him, or he said the sail route, the deep post, the comeback. And he said we just didn't have enough time to call those kinds of routes all the time. And I thought it was an interesting conversation.
The line was garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he was speaking about the offensive line at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult as a play caller, too. So, really interesting conversation. I would advise people to go listen to that. 90 minutes released this morning.
Wow, that's interesting that he gave 90 minutes to
Isn't it?
talk about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we had, I think you would find this interesting, and maybe you know this story, but Mike Borgonzi came on the show a couple of days ago, and I had to dive into the 2017 draft, right? And how nervous were they trying to get up to get Mahomes? He said they tried to get to 1. And I said, did you have intel that Chicago was maybe interested in Mahomes or that they were going to take Mitchell Trubisky? And he goes, we didn't know, but we didn't want to take a chance. And we wanted to get to 1, and they couldn't do it. So they got to 10, and then they floated to everyone that they were going to take Reuben Foster, the linebacker from Alabama, which I thought was hysterical.
Well, it's funny you say that because the Saints had the next pick, and they would have taken Mahomes.
Yeah. And then Houston came up to get Deshaun Watson.
Right. And I think that was the draft. The Saints, I believe, took Marshawn Lattimore with that pick, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think the Chiefs had Mahomes as number 1 on their board, if memory serves me correctly.
While they had Alex Smith, who was coming off a Pro Bowl year, and then Mahomes' rookie year, he sits Alex Smith as a Pro Bowler again, and leads the NFL in passer rating. And then they ship him off to Washington. I love those draft stories because he was like, yeah, we were nervous.
No, and that's true. As I started my draft work, I watch guys and I always think to myself, because there's not that many, there's very few transcendent players that are going to be great no matter where they go. So, I always think about, okay, how do they fit in the league? If I'm watching a receiver and he's not Julio Jones, who could play anywhere, I think to myself, okay, how does this guy fit? And then it becomes a matter of, scheme, team, what is he going to be asked to do in the NFL level? And that's what teams have to figure out. So that's why for one team, a certain player might be exactly what they want. And for another team, that guy might not even be, on their draft board. And that's the stuff that I find really fascinating because it's all about team and scheme and where a player goes.
I found a comment from one scout during that pre-draft process called Mahomes reckless. And he said, really good quarterbacks.
He was in college. He was.
Yeah. He said, really good quarterbacks will have maybe 3 or 4 reckless throws. He has 20 a game.
Yeah.
Borgonzi was like, yeah, I mean, that stuff was on the tape. But, he said, when I talked to Andy Reid about it, Andy Reid said, I'll deal with him.
I'll fix him.
I'll fix him. Yeah, that's what he said.
It's funny you say that, and I don't know how much time we have left, but obviously I did Mahomes when he came out. And, I'm not the only one. I mean, obviously, the reckless thing, I'll just read to you really quick what I said about Mahomes. I said, there's no question some NFL coaches will love his overall talent, but Mahomes will need to be retrained in many ways. A potential player with a wide range of outcomes, depending on so many variables. You can't project a quarterback based on his ability to make plays outside of structure.
Wow.
That's what I typed. I mean, he was a frustrating player to evaluate. Talent is there, buried under a lack of refinement. That's what his college tape showed.
Oh, my goodness.
So fascinating.
Is Cam Ward reckless?
A little bit.
He can be.
I kind of like him, though. I mean, I think there's a lot there, Dawn. I mean, again, now you get to who coaches him, although I know some people at Washington State, and when he played there 2 years, and they said that he's a really good kid. And I don't know if you ever did a Washington State game, but that
I
he's
had
a
him at
dog. He's a
Miami,
really
though.
good kid, you
Yeah.
know. So I hope that plays into it. But I think he's a really interesting player, particularly in today's NFL.
Love it. I can't wait to get into your draft analysis as we roll closer to.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to feel already a little too overwhelmed about it. There's just too many guys.
I mean, a lot of guys are staying in because of NIL. So,
Well, whenever I see a guy staying in, I'm like, yes, I don't have to watch him right now.
there he is, Greg Cosell. Check him out on NFL Matchup, breaking down the games this weekend. Also, NFL Films Forever. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Tracy Wolfson coming up at about 5:30. She'll be on the sideline for CBS in Kansas City, Bills and Chiefs. She'll break that down. More 3HL when we come back. 104.5 The Zone. Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity now through January 30th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year. When you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile from home to hotspots this new year. It's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait. Get gig speed internet. Spend less green. Switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment taxes and fees are extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After the promotion, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus One Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus One Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Welcome back in 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Dawn Davenport here with you. Ron Slay will be back shortly. And Mayor will also be back shortly. I'm all by myself. Zeph is behind the glass making everything work. Hi, Zeph.
How are you?
I'm in charge right now. Are you scared? Oh, never mind. There's Mayor. I was taking over, Mayor. Glad you're with us here on this Friday. Happy Friday to everybody.
I had to have a conversation with some people about some things during the break.
That's very specific. Appreciate the details.
Yeah. I'm the king of details.
Our breaks are short.
They are. Mm-hmm. That's part of my conversation.
Oh, okay.
So if you would like to become a business partner with 3HL and 104.5 The Zone, give Zeph a call. He'll get you in touch with the right people. 615-737-1045. How about that, Zeph?
That sounds good.
Am I going to make money on these sales? Is that how that works?
I don't know.
What did you say? My headphones fell out.
I said, am I going to make money on these sales if I sign anybody here on the phone?
Yeah. Go ahead, Zeph. We can facilitate that.
You do get tipped from time to time, I will point out.
You do get a little extra love. Hey, so I want to bring this up because it's on Twitter. Benjamin Albright on Twitter, who I don't know what he does now. He used to work for NFL Network, I think, but I think he works for, I don't know where he works anymore. But regardless, somebody tweeted him and asked him if he had any feelings on Titans quarterback or what they do at number 1. And his response was, and this has to do with the comments out of the press conference talking about generational talent.
Yes.
And how that changed the Vegas odds on who the Titans would pick with that number 1.
For those that don't
overall.
know, Chad Brinker came on Ramon, Kalo, and Will and spent a long time with them, but that one line got so much traction nationally about how they're not going to pass up generational talent at number 1.
Exactly. So
he said it in the press conference and on RK Dub. Sorry.
Okay.
But so Pat McAfee took his comments from RK Dub's show and used that, and then it went everywhere.
So Albright said, I don't know what they're going to do, but I know a lot of aggregators misinterpreted some comments that came out of that organization the other day, thinking they meant Travis Hunter, when really they were referring to Abdul Carter. So
that could be true.
It could be true, but that goes back to my point. I can't believe that Vegas odds changed on that because none of us know who the Titans feel is a generational talent. Honestly, it could be Cam Ward for all we know, which I thought was hilarious, the Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders conversations about the generational talent comments, which it doesn't play well over the radio because you can't tell who's saying what, but they were kind of joking with each other. And I think it was it Cam Ward that eventually said, oh, come on, that's Travis Hunter joking.
Yeah, so
right?
I think they were going back and forth about different articles written about him, like calling each generational. And
they have a very competitive yet playful relationship. Shedeur and Cam Ward.
And then I think Shedeur at one point said, yeah, I'm generational. That's what the article said. And then I think it was Cam, you're right, who goes, well, Trav's going to go first.
Trav's
and they both were like,
1.
they were both like, yeah, you're right.
And they were laughing about it. Because you remember that video came out, was it from the Manning Passing Academy where Cam Ward is just ripping Shedeur Sanders because he was late?
And Shedeur was like, I wasn't late. I was on time. And Cam Ward was like, well, I was here an hour and a half before we were supposed to be here getting reps when you weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, just matter-of-factly saying that to him.
Yeah. And, I mean, not joking. It was.
No. And that was in the offseason.
That was in the offseason, yeah. So.
This is going to be a fun draft cycle, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you go, if y'all want national guy talking about the Titans, they are. Because everybody's talking about that number 1 overall pick.
Also, I feel like this generational talent thing comes up every single draft. Like, why is it now the organization says it and all of a sudden it's a big deal?
Well, plus they said it
nobody knows who they're talking about.
They said it on the day they introduced their GM. Do you think they've had time to sit around a room and come to a conclusion that there is one guy that is a generational talent?
Right.
No.
I think he was making a point. Listen, we're not going to trade back just to trade back. If there's somebody we feel is transcendent at number 1, we're going to pick him.
That's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045. SB wants to talk some trash about Tennessee and Auburn in Mount Jewett. SB, what's up?
Oh.
Eagle.
Hey.
What's up, Brett? What's up, Babs?
What up,
I
SB?
love it. Unfortunately, Slay's not here to hear your trash talk because I'm assuming it's going to be against the Vols, right?
Yeah, it is.
I guarantee he's listening, though.
That's all right. Mayor's here.
He got scared.
Yeah.
He better be listening. Because we all know Slay done stole the Boom Boom Room from the movie Life. Auburn's got a
He
Boom
did.
Boom Room. Auburn's done put him in the Boom Boom Room. Babs, go ahead and make whatever bet you want to make. You're going to win this weekend.
I feel good about it.
I think Auburn wins, too,
I feel
honestly.
good about
I mean,
it.
they're the best team in the country. They just are.
Well, and on
With or
top
without
of it, it's
John
at
Tabor.
Auburn.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
Janai
they're
Brewer.
unstoppable in the jungle.
Yep. That atmosphere is
Bruce Pearl's
nuts.
going to have them hype.
Yep. Game day's there.
Tigers by 50.
50. I like it.
What y'all say?
Rack 'em.
Let's
Rack
go.
'em.
War Eagle. Rack 'em.
War Eagle.
See you, SB. Thank you, man.
Save that. Zeph.
Auburn by 50. I will gladly take.
Do you know why?
I will gladly
'Cause
take.
that's all we know. War Eagle. Auburn. That's all we know. That was for you, Slade.
I will gladly take Auburn, Tennessee plus 50. I will gladly take that. If anybody wants to offer that bet.
Yeah, I think that's free money.
I mean, hell, they got run off the planet by Florida, and that was only 30.
Janai Broom is back for this game, right? I think I saw some
Game
reports.
time decision,
Listed
supposedly.
as a game time decision.
So he's going to be back for this game.
I would think, yes.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the country. I mean, him and Flag are the two guys, right? At least right now.
Mm-hmm.
Over at your other team.
Yep. It's going to be a good
Both your
March
teams are
for us.
Both your teams are rocking.
I like it.
615-737-1045. 5 o'clock hour coming up. Hope you're having a great Friday. Tracy Wolfson at 5:30. More 3HL next. 1045 The Zone. If it is football time, it's scoreboard time. Where are you catching the playoff games this Sunday? Scoreboard Opry is where you need to be. Scoreboard Opry near Opry Mills Mall in Donaldson is open late and always warm. Go check out their brand new football menus with new food and drink items that are sure to impress anyone with tons of TVs on their huge heated deck. There's not a bad seat in the house. Are you ready for some fun this weekend? There's no better place to kick off the weekend than Scoreboard Bar and Grill. Catch the best live music, never pay a cover charge, tons of free parking, the largest selection of bushwhackers, coldest beer, and absolutely delicious food. Scoreboard Opry is your weekend headquarters, whether it's for the music, the games, or the great vibes. Scoreboard Opry has everything you need for the perfect weekend. And don't forget to catch the Spasmatics every Sunday at 4 at Scoreboard Bar and Grill.
Good evening. It's 5:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. A busy day in the NFL. Several hirings and firings have occurred. Former Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll is headed to Vegas to coach the Raiders and become the oldest coach in the NFL. The Jags have finalized a deal with Bucs OC Liam Cohen to become the team's next head coach. And the Texans have fired offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. Just one offseason from him having 5 head coaching interviews. It's NFL championship weekend as it's upon us. On Sunday, the Commanders and Eagles kick things off in the NFC Championship game. Kickoff for that one is at 2 o'clock. Then Sunday night, the Bills and Chiefs square off in the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes should be a good one. Kickoff for that one at 5:30. Both games will be broadcasted right here on The Zone starting at 1 p.m. In college hoops this weekend, Vanderbilt hosts number 9 Kentucky at Memorial Gym. Tip-off is at 1:30. Number 22, Missouri, hosting number 16, Ole Miss at 5:30. And the game of the weekend, number 6, Tennessee, heading to the Jungle to face off against top-ranked Auburn. Tip-off for that one is at 7:30. And you can listen to the Vol Network call of the game right here on The Zone starting at 7. For all your foundation repair and water improvement needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful evening in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Friday. The weekend is here. Ready to rock and roll. Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What up?
Can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is. She's Babsy.
Happy Friday. Bum, bum, bum,
Top
bum,
tier on YouTube. Cosell likes Ward. I'm with him. Now, he said he liked him. He said he hasn't, completely broken him down, though. And I can't wait to get his complete breakdown of both of those quarterbacks. And also Abdul Carter. And also Travis Hunter.
Yep.
And we will do that. Cosell joins us every Friday at 4:20. So, again, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Babs told a story yesterday that she held from us for, 36 hours about trying to, the story originated because she wanted to go pick up the dog poop because the dog poop was frozen and made it easier to pick up. So, going to take advantage of the weather situation.
Living the dream over here, you know?
Yeah, and so while she's doing that in the backyard, she noticed that there was ice in her pool. So she picks up the, the net, like if you have a pool, or I'm sure even if you don't, you've seen the big long rod with the net. And she took the other end of the rod and started to try to break up the ice in the pool.
Just around the jets, so that it could continue to move. Yeah.
Which all along, I'm like, I completely turned toward Babs and started basically an interview. Because I'm not sure ice in the pool is a good thing because ice expands and is going to break pipes and things like that. And that's an expensive proposition in a pool. But
not a good thing.
You made that decision to try to do that, but you also tried to step on the ice for some reason.
Because it was pretty thick.
And fell in the pool.
Yes.
Pool temperature 30 degrees.
Did my cold plunge for the day.
Husband inside taking a shower, getting ready for the day. She comes flying in, completely wet and cold.
He's like, what is going on? I'm like, I fell in the pool.
It's always something. So Matthew and Franklin.
By the way, my ankle is killing me. I think I sprained it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Matthew and Franklin has something on this. Matthew, what's up?
Good afternoon, my friends. Hope you've had a blessed week. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. You too.
Miss Davenport, what you need to do, go to TSC, Tractor Service Company, free plug. They make heaters that fit in stock tanks for cattle, and you just plug them in, float them out in the middle, and the stock tanks won't freeze. You can't go out and break ice, for cattle every damn come morning. So that might be an easy fix, and either that or I'd like to be a rider on your life insurance, one of the two.
I like it. Thanks, Matthew. I will pass that along to you too.
Thank you, man.
Pass that along to the hubs. We do have a heater in the pool.
That is
we could have just heated it. But
Yes.
then I'm like,
which is what you're
we can't
supposed to
afford
do,
to heat it.
but it'll be expensive. Yes.
expensive, yeah. So
Yeah, with all of these well-known and very public mishaps at your house, your life insurance probably is going to go up.
the Lone Phoenix, what the hell is wrong with this crew? They must do day drinking.
Could you imagine?
Oh man, yeah. If you missed Slay's story earlier, you should go listen on the podcast.
3:20, he told the story.
Car was stolen last night.
So, yeah, and everything's okay, but it was a hell of a story. Crackhead took it, ended up down.
Chunky Junkie is
Chunky Junkie is how he described her, yeah. 5'4", rattling teeth. She apparently was trying to go to the zoo, I don't know, at 11 o'clock at night. Rolled the vehicle twice while in it without a seatbelt on. And when the police got there, she was gone.
No blood on the scene, nothing.
Just gone. And somebody, I forget who, wrote on YouTube, said, you ain't going to catch a crackhead. So then there's this. Zeph sends us this from Mike Golick. Guys, it's happening. Skyline Chili and Grater's Ice Cream. They're coming up with a Skyline Chili ice cream.
Oh, stop.
A lot of people can't stand Skyline chili anyway.
Me.
It's too sweet. It's got brown sugar in it.
It's the cinnamon taste or something.
Yeah.
Who
That's
wants cinnamon in their chili? It's awful. I know all you Ohio people are going to come at me like a spider monkey, but that stuff is garbage. Do you remember I worked Cincinnati game?
Yeah.
And they brought us Skyline chili during the broadcast, and I ate it and almost vomited.
I've had it before, but I don't remember what.
But I was trying to be nice on the broadcast.
That's a tough pull.
I was about to get, absolutely taken down from Cincinnati fans.
Yeah, it didn't stand out to me. I can't remember if I liked it or didn't like it. So, I don't know.
Well, let me tell you.
I mean, went to a Reds game
what
a long
I
time
would
ago.
not want: chili ice cream. Skyline chili ice cream sounds like the worst invention ever. Ever. Give me Pop-Tart ice cream any day of the week. Cinnamon brown sugar, I'm all in.
Shout out. Presented by your mom and them. Mm-hmm. Corner Pub has great chili.
Oh. Who knew?
A lot of people.
Oh. Okay, well, not me.
They have great chili. 615-737-1045. Preds have won 5 in a row. Check them out, man. They go west on their circus tour. And they went 6-5 in San Jose last night. It was a crazy game. They jumped out 3-0, led 4-1, I think. And San Jose kept coming back. And the Preds get the win. Forsberg with 2 goals. Preds playing Anaheim Saturday at 9 o'clock. Not only have they won 5 in a row, they've won 7 out of 9. So Preds get going. Every time you start thinking, oh, man, they're going to sell off the team, they go on a big hot streak. Happened last year.
Yep.
So maybe
let's see.
Maybe Barry Trotz got hot enough to kind of change things over there.
Didn't Philip Forsberg break his own record for games with a goal or something like that?
Oh, you're going too deep in the story to me.
I think he did. I think he had 9 consecutive games with a goal now or something like that.
Forsberg's amazing. Forsberg is amazing. Lady Vols coach Kim Caldwell had her baby. How many games is she going to miss? She missed the trip to Texas because she was having the baby.
I would venture to say that that's the only one she misses.
They play South Carolina, number 2 South Carolina, on Monday in Knoxville.
No way in hell does
she's
she
not
miss
missing that one.
Yeah, no way.
Y'all don't think she's missing that one?
She will have the baby on her hip on that court.
Yeah.
Before she misses it.
She'll pump at halftime. Guaranteed. There's no way she's missing that one. And it's at home. Oh, no. She's going to be there.
Who's her assistant? Jenna Burdett? Jenna, you got this.
Yep.
She did a good job versus Texas last night.
Yeah.
She did. She looked a little wide-eyed at the beginning, but she settled in. She went after the officials a couple times.
I mean, they were one shot away, they have been in every single loss. One shot away.
That's crazy. I mean, they've got the 2 losses to top 10 teams by 1 point, right?
Yep.
And then that one, I mean, that game was tied with 28 seconds left.
I mean, and like I said, they took
Vandy won at the buzzer.
They took the 3 to take the lead with less than 10 seconds left and just missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they make that. Who knows if Texas goes down and scores?
She ain't missing that game on Monday. I'm with y'all.
No way.
I'm with y'all.
My under 2.5 will hit.
I'm with y'all. And here's the other thing about, like, a lot of people were worried about when she was going to have the baby and, like, how many games she was going to miss. Here's the other thing, Dawn, and you could speak to this. Like, her life changed immediately. So you're all into everything Lady Vol basketball. Now you got a little infant that demands your time, too. So, like, how do you split up the time? She's going to feel inadequate. That's what you were saying about mom guilt.
Yeah. You're never going to feel like you're adequate doing your job and being a mom at the same time. You never will. It's any working moms out there get it. Any working dads out there get it.
But literally, like
you're never going to be able to be a superstar at both at the same time.
Right.
It's
so
life.
As she used to, I don't know, come up with game plans and be all in on that. Now she's literally going to have a baby on her hip while she's doing those things.
Mm-hmm. Different world, man. I'm pretty confident that she can handle it, though.
She's, I mean, by all indications, and we've met her a couple of times, she's a BAB, so to speak.
That's right. She's a Babs.
615-737-1045. Coming up in the next segment, Tracy Wolfson will be on the sidelines in Kansas City for Bills Chiefs. She'll join us at 5:30, so we have some time on the front end of that to kind of work
It's
through.
East-West Shrine game, and the Titans met with Shur Sanders.
You want to talk about that next?
Yeah.
Let's do it. That game, smartly, is next Thursday on the NFL Network. So they're going to have Thursday night football for the East-West Shrine game.
Will you watch?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So will I, even if Shedeur doesn't play.
Which he's going to. We'll talk about next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
You need some extra money, and do you own a home here in this area? Well, guess what? If you do own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto, the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash so that maybe you can pay off all that credit card debt you have from the holidays, or maybe you can start that home remodel project that you have wanted forever. Loan Pronto can help you do it, and they have several easy options to let you access that cash. Virtually no paperwork, no process, no junk fees, and usually in this area, no appraisal, too. The average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. You might as well use it. One client got $150K out, paid off their credit cards, their 2 car loans, and a personal loan. And then on top of it, cut their monthly expenses by $1,500. So you can get improved in as little as 1 day. Act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com is where you can start the entire process. 615-499-5780 if you want to call them and let them help you out. Get the money you need for anything with Loan Pronto at LoanPronto.com. 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. There's your boy Nelly, Don Davenport.
I love me some Nelly.
He's a pocket person.
Tiny.
Can fit him in your pocket.
Do you remember, where was I? I was at the Big 12 football championship when he performed, right?
You were so happy.
And I was shocked. He like comes up to my waist.
Hey.
Was that the one? Was that the one where you were doing the Dr. Pepper?
Yes.
Oh, and it went to like 4 overtimes?
Triple overtime, yeah.
And you had no idea what the rules were, right?
No, I knew what they were.
Wasn't there something with the rule? Like someone had messed up the rules?
No, the rules were right, and I said them right, everything, but one of the counters of the footballs, I guess when you went back,
the counters
missed one of the guy's throws, and then there was controversy.
What a mess.
So Dr. Pepper ended up giving them both the scholarship money.
Right. I just remember watching you and like thinking, oh my gosh, her anxiety
what
level.
are the freaking chances of that?
Why are we going to triple overtime?
I'm pretty sure I was
kidding
at Cracker Barrel watching that. Had it up on my phone.
Unbelievable.
You working at Cracker Barrel
Everybody
this
was
weekend?
like, oh, that was much better than the game.
I'll be there Sunday morning. Sunday's my dad's birthday, so happy birthday, Dad.
Oh, happy birthday,
Daddy
Zeph
Banana.
Pops.
Yeah. Sunday morning, huh? So,
Papa Zeph.
Y'all go see Zeph in Murfreesboro. Old Ford Parkway.
That's it.
What are you going to be doing? Do you know yet?
I actually might be cooking on, like, might be on the grill, like flipping pancakes, bacon, sausage, actually doing the heavy lifting. Hope not. It gets busy. It's tiring.
Well, I mean, you choose to work there.
Money's money.
So, Shedeur Sanders, you guys educated me, may not play in the East-West Shrine game.
I know he didn't throw today. I know he is planning on practicing during the week, but I had read somewhere that he wasn't going to play. But I don't know. We'll see. But he is going to throw during the week of practice. He just didn't do it today.
Yeah, Borgonzi told us the other day that they were going out there last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Callahan out there had a chance to talk with Shedeur Sanders, and then Jim Wyatt talked with Brian Callahan about his conversation with Shedeur Sanders. Do you have that pulled up by chance?
I do. I have the article. Yeah. So I guess Callahan talked to him for about 15 minutes, and this is all like free time to talk to these guys. That's why these all-star games are so important too for scouts and NFL people to be able to see it. So this was the quote in Jim Wyatt's article after he talked to Coach Callahan about Shedeur Sanders. You can tell he's been raised right, Callahan said of his first impression of Sanders. He's mature, he has a really poised way about him, and he seems like a really good kid. I enjoyed talking to him, and you could tell he's a guy who's been in the spotlight. He knows how to handle himself. He's been paid money, so he has a financial perspective. It was a really good first impression. That's the first time you've heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I've got more too, but
all right, hit more.
I'll hit more first. Okay. He said the thing that stands out the most is his toughness. He took some pretty big shots and he kept rolling. He can stand in the pocket and deliver it. He can move and create a bit. He has some ability to move out of the pocket, and he does create on his own. He's not a high-end dynamic scrambler necessarily, but he is productive when he does, and he really has a good feel for anticipation and timing. You can tell he's been coached in that regard. Those things show up on tape.
I think those are
anticipation and timing. Isn't
that
that exactly
familiar?
what he said that he needed in a quarterback?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Funny that y'all mentioned that. I thought those were great comments about, anybody might have said about him. But yeah, it is funny that he used those words. Mm-hmm. Because what did he say in terms of quarterback traits?
Would you like to hear it?
Sure. Oh, you have it. Go ahead.
Sure.
This is Brian Callahan on Easton Free's interview, 90 Minutes A to Z Sports. Here it is.
Well, I think you got to find, I think you're looking more for particular traits, and one of the biggest ones that I see right now, and the ones that good quarterbacks I've been around is, it's going to sound a little bit strange, but what's their nervous system like? What do they look like when things break down? How do they operate when the pocket is muddy? How do they operate under critical duress and critical pressure? Those are the things that that I look at it. How does their brain essentially respond? How does their body respond to those stressors? I mean, you look at Mahomes and Burrow and Allen and Lamar. I mean, you watch these guys play ball. Stafford. There's something about how they operate, and like I said, their nervous system is a huge part of that. And then there's three things that I always look at, and it's decision making, timing, and accuracy. That's quarterback play in the NFL.
There you go.
And you have to be able to, when those moments come where you have to throw the football, and everyone in the stadium knows you have to throw the football. Can you do it? Can you make those throws in those big moments? And that's what separates, I think, all the quarterbacks in the league, the great ones from the guys that are just good. And that's what you look for, is how does their nervous system work under pressure.
There you go. So, and just to remind you, here's what he said about Shedeur Sanders. He's not a high-end dynamic scrambler necessarily, but he's productive when he does, and he really has a good feel for anticipation and timing. You can tell he's been coached in that regard. Those things show up on tape.
You know who he reminds me of? I was thinking about this the other day. He kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson. Like, he's mobile enough in the pocket to manipulate the pocket well, but he doesn't escape the pocket to run. He escapes the pocket with his eyes still down the field. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying, this guy's going to be a Super Bowl quarterback or whatever, but kind of reminds me of that in terms of his pocket manipulation.
I mean, if you have those,
Slay Dog.
Hey, hello everybody. If you got them qualities though, and you put the pieces around them, then yeah, because I'm coming out. Russell Wilson was a favorite of mine. Like the transferring from NC State to Wisconsin, like watching him play and watching him grow. Like, dude is tough, but he had the pieces around him to accompany him into what he was trying to do and get that Super Bowl. So
valid.
Just saying, like that ain't taken away. I'm just saying, like. He got the skill. It's just, could Russell Wilson have carried the franchise? I think we see that.
Right, and does the comparison stop there?
Right,
one question. But
right.
that part of their game are kind of similar to
it's very similar. But, like, you got to have them pieces, man. And, walking in right now. Are those pieces there?
You get all your stuff done.
I did, man. My boys took care of me over there, man. My dog's over there. I told them, man, I'll give them a shout out. So I'll give them a shout out. By your mom and them. Shannon and my dog, Jawan.
Shannon and Jawan.
No, I'm lying. Shannon and Dewan, my bad, dog. I just love y'all. Enterprise, man. Y'all go over to mess with them right there on Baker's Bridge. Took care of me. In and out. I'm back at the show. Let's get some work done.
There you go. Big game coming up in Kansas City. Obviously, we'll all be watching Buffalo at Kansas City. Tracy Wolfson will be on the sideline in Kansas City. Joins us now. Tracy, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. Long time no speak. Excited for this one.
I know. And at least it's not going to be like minus 30 with 12 inches of snow on the ground.
No, thank God it is not. I mean, it's actually funny. I was just talking about this today. I mean, the weather is going to be very similar to Buffalo last week, but there's really been no conversation of how cold it is. So maybe, I don't know. I guess it's just we're used to it after 1 week. But no, there won't be any precipitation. It'll be in the 20s because it's a 6:30 game in Kansas City in, the end of January.
Kansas City is where I learned that you stand on a piece of cardboard and that helps you keep you warmer. It was the Titans playoff game.
They all carry in cardboard, Tracy, and they stand in the bleachers
why do you all
with
have
it.
cardboard? What is going on?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I wish I could do that. That's hilarious.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, I can't stand in one place. But I'll tell you, I've got enough tricks up my sleeve. I was completely warm in Buffalo. I got it from Aaron Rodgers. I think I've told you this story maybe before, where you just have to keep your feet warm. You put one of those like normal foot warmers right on the bottom of your sole. You have an insulated shoe. You put a sock. You put another heat warmer on top and then another sock, and your feet are good for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they almost sweat.
So, Tracy, Babs Dawn has this thermometer thing that's like a gun, and it like shoots a red dot. It looks like you're going to be taken out by a sniper, but she uses that on the sideline, and I keep thinking, man, if she misses and like puts the red dot in the quarterback's eye or something, like she's gonna get tossed from the sideline.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
You might get tossed no matter what. This day and age, if they see a red dot somewhere around Field.
Yeah. Not ideal.
This girl.
Before we evaluate the game coming up, great commercial, a promo. It looks like a commercial. It's a promo for you guys and you, Nance, and Romo at the neighborhood watch meeting. That's a pretty funny idea.
Yeah, we had a good time shooting it. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you saw the outtakes. We did like a whole thing on Gen Z terminology. That went through on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was even funnier to see Jim, try and talk in Gen Z language was pretty hilarious. But, yeah, we had a good time shooting it. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I heard it came out great.
Yeah, it did. Very professionally done, of course. How long did it take to shoot that?
Like an hour or so. It wasn't too bad. They came in, had us do our few lines, and then we were out of there. They were pretty good with it.
Yeah, because Will Levis came in studio last offseason, and he was leaving here to go to the facility to shoot that was the mayonnaise commercial, right?
The Mayo Cologne one.
The Cologne one.
The Mayo Cologne commercial. Yeah.
Which we didn't know back then, but obviously after it came out, we figured it out.
He said it took 8 hours to shoot that. That's why I was curious.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is pretty crazy. I did do a shoot with Josh Allen 2 years ago for Paramount with Dora the Explorer, and that was out in LA. That took a while. I mean, that was definitely a bigger production shoot. But this was actually done in our hotel in a conference room, so they made it very easy.
That's awesome.
Tracy Wilson joins us. She'll be on the sideline for CBS coming up Kansas City. Buffalo and Kansas City. Is it this simple of a breakdown? Whichever quarterback has the ball last wins, Trace?
That's usually how it works, right? I do think. I think that's what it comes down to. I also think it's which quarterback makes the fewest mistakes. And both of them have been so good with the football, throughout this season and certainly over the last, few weeks. So, but it's you really, every time you talk to these quarterbacks, that's exactly what they say. We just left our meetings with Patrick, and he said it comes down to the big moments. There's always going to be a big moment, a big play in this game between the two teams. And whoever has that big moment, that big play, that team's going to win.
It's funny. We were talking with Greg Cosell about this a little while ago, and he was surprised, like a lot of people, that Buffalo, not that they tried to run the ball against Baltimore, but that they were able to run the ball against Baltimore. James Cook has been great for them.
He's been tremendous. And then, you throw in the other two backs as well, and they've been able to kind of mix things up a little bit. And I think the last 2 weeks they've played against really good run defenses, and they've been able to move the football. I think they're going to try and do the same thing, certainly. And, of course, in these games, quarterbacks take it on their back. And you're going to see Josh Allen, I'm sure, running the football, more design runs. I mean, you just leave it all out there. So, and we saw it, the last time when the Bills played the Chiefs at 4th and 2, I guess it was, to really seal it. And so I think you're going to see, a similar situation. Can they run it? I mean, we're going to find out. But also, we always know in cold weather, these conditions, in January, on the road, and you want to control time of possession. You want to keep Mahomes, even though it's not necessarily the, Kansas City offense of the past. You want to keep them off the field. The challenge is, can, the Chiefs defense get them off the field?
Wolf, who would you be watching to be an X factor in this game when it comes to the Chiefs from their perspective before we get back to Buffalo? Just a wild card.
It's hard. I think, honestly, I'm going to answer both. Okay. I think this comes down to the trenches and the line of scrimmage. I think whoever dominates, so if you want to look at the Chiefs and you want to say maybe a Charles Omenihu. I mean, we know Karlaftis 3 sacks last week. We know what Chris Jones does, but maybe it's Omenihu who I think can recall it was 363 days since when he tore his ACL in the last AFC Championship game. And, he's been looking, forward to this one and to be back and to be healthy. And he's really coming on. He's come on in the playoffs. I think a guy like that can really provide a spark. But certainly it's going to come down to who can control the line of scrimmage. And you're facing, on the opposite side, the offensive line of the Bills, which is one of the best in the NFL. And certainly with their leader of Deion Dawkins. And so I think it comes down to that. You can flip it on the other side and their defensive line versus the Chiefs' offensive line. And, Joe Thuney has done a tremendous job moving out to the left tackle position. If they can stay healthy throughout this game, if he can continue to protect, Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be key against the Bills' defensive line. So I think those are really the X factors. I don't think it's one specific guy because in reality, both of these teams, especially offensively, as Josh Allen likes to say, everyone eats. And it's true. You can't key on just one guy. So you really, of course, they're going to try and contain Travis Kelce, but that doesn't mean someone else, it's not going to open up for someone else. But it's really difficult to do with these offensives. So I think it comes down to the line of scrimmage.
You mentioned Travis Kelce, and that's an interesting element to this game. Tracy just won 100-yard game all season. And then Patrick Mahomes last week said, hey, Travis is going to be a playoff factor for us. He just is. And 7 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown last week. I would imagine that some of this is going to go through him again.
Yeah, I would imagine so as well. He is always good in the playoffs. They had 24 days off. That rest certainly helped him. He comes in fresh. He's always working. He's always figuring it out. And the other thing is they have such a connection. That's another thing Patrick talked to us about in the meeting is just that connection where they don't really have to script anything. They just know where each other is going to be, and they just make things happen. We've seen it in the past in this specific game against the Bills and certainly in playoff time, and I expect it to happen again. And the Bills are right now coming in certainly hobbled defensively. No Taylor Rapp, which is huge. Cole Bishop, a young safety, is going to have to step into that spot and try and help contain. They have a few other injuries on the defensive side of the ball. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how they can contain, Travis Kelce, especially in the red zone.
I was just about to ask you about that. Like,
about the red zone?
Yeah, and Travis Kelce. Like, we go throughout the season and Travis Kelce's struggling. Is he getting married? What's his life like? And
it's
then
all Taylor Swift's fault.
7 catches, 100-something yards. Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce.
That's who he is, and he also knows it. I asked about the playoff time specific, and there's a mentality when you go into playoffs, especially from this Chiefs team that has that experience in the playoffs, is you're just leaving it all on the line. Like, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. Or, you could put your body in harm's way at that moment because this is kind of like, if this is it, this is it. You don't have many games left. Whereas regular season, maybe you're trying to protect yourself a little bit more, stay healthy for that run. And the motivation is there. It's funny. I asked about the Chiefs fatigue and, all the naysayers and everyone who's now like anti-Chiefs. Yeah. And, does that motivate them? And Patrick said, that doesn't motivate them as much as maybe the three-peat, trying to do something historic, right? Trying to leave your legacy in that regard. The other thing he did say I thought was funny, Patrick said, was he's like, I could really appreciate now the Patriots run because I hated them when they were dominating so much.
That's really funny.
So true. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Here's the craziest stat. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes will have more Super Bowl championships than playoff losses. How about that?
It's insane. That is an unbelievable stat, and it's pretty crazy. And he's still so young in the prime of his career.
This is wild. Watch this unfold.
As a Titans fan, it's annoying.
Come on, man.
It's annoying.
It was something to watch Brady. Like, you could see it, and it was formulating. But with this, it's like we actually got to see a baby come out the womb, start to crawl, then walk, then go to his first grade, and all this. Like, this is what we're seeing with Mahomes, and it's still going. Like, he ain't even made it to middle school yet.
Mm-hmm. It is incredible, and it's great. It's so fun to watch this rivalry, though, develop, too.
Yeah.
And the friendship that Patrick and Josh have, and it reminds us so much, or at least for me, of Brady and Manning and all those games we covered together. And, I asked Patrick also about that relationship with Josh Allen, and, they're really good friends. Off the field, they golf together. They go to Formula One together. They do a lot of stuff off the field together throughout the season and then come and it's they want to beat the other bad, and it's just like no friendship. It's all enemies when they're on the field. But there's an interesting side story to that as well. So watching this rivalry develop over the years, has been so much fun to be front and center for it.
Yeah.
You know, we were lucky from just an NFL history standpoint that the Titans hired Mike Borgonzi from Kansas City. We had him on the show a couple days ago, Tracy, and so of course we walked him through that 2017 draft, right, where they come up to 10 to get Patrick Mahomes. He told us that they tried to go to 1. And I said,
really?
did you think that Chicago was going to take Trubisky, or did you think that they might go Patrick Mahomes? He said, we didn't know, but we didn't want to take a chance, so we tried to get to 1. And then he said they got to 10, and they floated to everybody, like put it out there that they were going to take Reuben Foster, the linebacker from Alabama, who ended up going to the San Francisco 49ers at 31. I thought that was fascinating.
I think there's a lot of those stories about kind of like, you know, GMs and teams checking in with each other, but really floating some wrong information out there and thinking like, oh, we'll maybe give you the pick, and then deciding, no way, just want to know who else is interested and what their plans are. We talked to Sean Payton about that in Denver, because he always talks about the story as how they were really close to getting Patrick Mahomes. And he even had to like have a conversation with Drew Brees, who was in the building at the time, walked in and be like, you know, I'm just telling you, there's a chance we draft this kid from Texas Tech. Don't worry. And Brees says, you know, just, you know, that's fine, but I'm still the starter. I mean, there's a whole story there.
They picked 11. They picked 11. So, yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah, they were really close.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I think it's interesting to hear those stories. I'm glad. I think that's a great hire by the Titans, by the way. I know the Jets were interested in him, and as a Jets fan growing up in New York, I would have loved that hire. He comes from a winning mentality, brings that to Tennessee. That's the key. And if you want to even look on the other side of the football, and we see Washington and how they've been able to, or on the other side of the playoffs, and how Washington has been able to have this quick fix. It really all starts at the top. And, yeah, we know the new ownership has done a tremendous job, but the new ownership went out and hired Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, and the two of them are lock sync together. And they came in together, and they knew each other, and they respected each other. And when that works, you know, that high up in you know, between the ownership and the GM and the head coach, then you can go out and get a quarterback like Jaden Daniels and feel like you're on the same page. You're drafting a guy like that, and your whole entire system changes that quickly. It's pretty unbelievable, but that's why. They built a culture in less than a year.
I mean, they went from 4 wins to 1 win away from the Super Bowl, which is crazy. So,
I had a chance to see them twice, and honestly, I walked out the first time, and I was like, this is a winning team. Like, you just knew it. You felt it. And you just, there was something, they had it. They had it.
Well, tell our buddy Nance hello, and have a great call on Sunday. We will all be watching, certainly. And congrats to your Michigan Wolverines on the win over Ohio State. That's not going to get old, I'm sure.
Not going to get old. I mean, Ohio State can go on and win the national championship, but we still beat them again this year, so we can walk away with that.
The rivalry.
With a win over Alabama. So, I mean, we're feeling and we go out and get Bryce Underwood. Don't get me started. By the way, I got to go turn on the Michigan-Purdue basketball game right now.
Yes.
I love it.
Man,
The
some
sports
heavyweights
fan.
right there.
Yep, the sports fan and the Wolf. Thank you, Tracy. Always good to hear from you. Have fun on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Talk to you guys soon.
There she is, Tracy Wolfson.
The Wolf going to watch the Wolf.
Yeah.
Basketball. That's going to be interesting.
615-737-1045 if you want to. Reese and Laura on hold. We'll try to sneak them in when we come back.
All right, you have a problem. You need new windows and doors. I have a solution for you. The name Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. I use them to do my new windows and doors on 2 properties, and they were phenomenal to work with. Love the staff, love the product, lifetime warranties on the windows, and then they back up their work with a 10-year labor warranty, which is leading in the industry. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. I did all the research, so you don't have to worry about it. You can trust them. They do a phenomenal job. Stop by their showroom in Franklin, 277 Mallory Station Road, or their showroom in Hendersonville, 256 East Main Street. Say hi to them. Tell them what you need, what you're looking for, and they can help you out. You can even schedule your free consultation online, by the way, PellaNashville.com. Tell them to give you the Dawn deal, 50% off qualifying installs, and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. That's Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, PellaNashville.com, or 615-249-1910.
Three HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, executive producer of 3HLSF.
What's up?
South Carolina, number 2 in the country, leading LSU 60-52 in women's basketball.
There's a high-level talent in this game, too, man. And coaching.
I went back and looked, Slay. South Carolina's won 16 straight against LSU. Last time LSU beat South Carolina, January of 2012.
Dang.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was more back and forth than that.
Yeah, but I mean, Kim Mulkey only been there for like, what? This will be her 4th year, I think, maybe.
And Dawn's been there a while.
Dawn, yeah. Dawn been there for quite a while. Probably since she's been there.
She's going to be there for
you just cement
even
her
longer. They just gave her a contract extension.
Did they?
Yeah, South Carolina, they just gave Shane Beamer a contract extension too.
Paying him up over $8 million now.
Mm-hmm.
He was everywhere too. Like
now he's
during
like
the games,
in the SEC ballpark, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
What a surprise. Can't wait to see the continued development of Lenora Sellers going into next year.
That's going to be something to watch.
That dude turned into
right.
That dude turned into a problem.
So who would you take then, Yoral? You taking Lenora Sellers?
Or am I selling Sellers?
Or you starting them these guys? I want to say Nico, but of course you would probably take Nico. But Nico Iamaleava, or what's the quarterback name for Lagway?
DJ Lagway?
Yeah.
I would take Sellers before Lagway.
Okay.
Is that bad?
No. I don't think you can be bad.
You going to push back on that?
I want to, but I mean, I'm just doing it just to play devil's advocate because I would take him too.
Sellers has proved more than Lagway has so far.
Yeah.
No, and that's not Lagway's fault.
Well, I was just about to say, Lagway came on later. He didn't start right away.
But the facts are the facts.
Yeah, they are.
Sellers almost beat Alabama at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did. He's a haul.
Zev, how long does Reese and Laura have?
A U-Haul.
Do Reese and Laura have?
Like 2 minutes.
Starting now.
Can y'all handle
2 minutes,
that?
Reese and Laura, can you do it?
Yes, we can do it. Welcome to the world, Connor Caldwell.
Oh,
welcome to the Vol family.
That's right.
Why are you with me?
You better believe it, Reese.
Hey, we waited through all your car rental and everything. Hey,
I didn't want to bring you on when he wasn't here.
I know. I almost hung up and called Zev back and told us not to, but I figured y'all know. So, I tell you what, number one thing I got from that story, Big Slay, you know what it is?
What's that?
You know your woman loves you when she goes crazy.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to make this real fast. We had these hooligans come down our road a year or two back and start busting light bulbs everywhere, right? Teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get out and start screaming at them and all this, throwing beer cans at them and getting them away from the cats. And we get this guy down the road. They're kids. Comes down the road, takes his shirt off trying to fight. And I guess who jumps in the middle of the road trying to fight this dude?
My girl, Laura.
Laura, I have to get her away and then the cops come and I have to get Laura. Laura's out there throwing her jacket on the ground trying to fight this guy. And I'm like, no, get away. This guy's a buffoon. He ain't worth anybody's time. And so they arrest him. They arrest the teenagers. And we go back to drinking beer in the car listening to y'all. So it ain't as good as your story, but your story reminded me, if your woman goes crazy like that, that's how she's head over heels for you.
Glad to accept it.
Play, I got real quick. We got to go real quick. We only got like 45 seconds, which means a minute and a half in radio time. You were right. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. It wasn't. Now, Babs, it's Trash Talk Friday, so I got to know, did you get mine and Laura's present?
No.
We sent you a T-shirt that said "Beat Bruce Pearl." Get on Rocky Top! Rocky Top! So we love y'all. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's go, Big O!
How about Reese?
We'll chat with you Monday, Reese and Laura.
Reese
we'll chat with you Monday.
Reese locked it out.
Yeah, he came on with it. That was good.
45 seconds, which is a minute and a half in radio time. No, it's a minute and a half in this show's radio time.
Yeah.
Not most shows.
Did you hear the bet that Don and I made for this
I heard
game?
that. You know I'm always listening. Mm-hmm.
I'm risking my favorite button over here. Putting it on the line.
And I heard Babsy. Babsy kind of added something to ours. Babsy said a whole week.
Of ours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do you think it was one day?
I thought maybe a couple of days.
Oh, no, we upped the ante around here.
Yeah, somebody asked her if she was going to take you to dinner. And,
I know,
and
she shot
said,
that down so fast.
Yeah, so fast. Like, no.
She ain't got to. I'll just bombard her house. I'm cool with that. Baby Babs always let me in.
Watch out for them dogs.
Nah, Baby Babs, as soon as she learned to put them dogs up, I'm going to be over there even more. I need Baby Babs to figure that out.
Don, you're going to look good in Tennessee orange.
Oh, please.
No, I got something for her. She's wearing my jersey all week. I'm bringing my jersey. My Tennessee jersey.
Orange.
You got to wear my Tennessee jersey the entire week.
That's going to be a dress.
Yes, that's
on her.
Even better. Great.
Bring her something orange.
Fits perfectly. Fits perfectly.
I mean,
you got some Auburn gear? I need to call Bruce.
Oh, I got some.
Listen, Babs is down to 5'4" now.
I got you. I heard she said she ain't got no Tennessee gear, so
yeah, she does.
I got.
She's not worried about it.
Plenty of jerseys and shooting shirts for you. Don't worry.
What's coming up next, Ev?
We are After Party coming up next from 6 to 7.
Hey, y'all have a great weekend. It's going to be fun watching these football games. We'll break them all down on Monday. And we certainly appreciate you guys participating with the show in any and every way that you can. Spread the word about 3HL to all the new people moving in town. Give them something to listen to. We appreciate you including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Good night. God bless.
See ya. War damn Eagle Slay.
Wouldn't want to be
go.
you. Shout out, Dewan, my guy Shannon, Metro Nashville Police, and my guy Dewan for State Farm. Way to hold me down. Also, just remember, stay away from the chunky junkies and.